Bitcoin sitting at 61,980. Not able to get back above 62,000. Looks like we're going lower, but we'll see. The battle continues. Iran and the U.S. heats back up. Risk on assets get the beat down. Just the par for the course over time here. Check. Is this thing on? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to you, and all the beautiful people here on the stream. Thank you so much for jumping on in. I appreciate you. I love you. My team does. The entire Crypto Lifer crew over here. God bless you all. Let's take a look at what's happening to BTC. Let's see where we're at right now. I'm watching a bit of a flag here on weeks. It's getting very tight. We're going to see. Oh, it pumped the second I showed up on the chart. It's kind of crazy, right? It's like, why does Bitcoin seem to pump every time I sniff it out? Is this real sustainable returns? I mean, it's kind of an inverted head and shoulder here. We had a curving 21. We crossed the 200 moving average. I did not get in here. I was just mapping it out. I had a chance to begin to think about it. I had put my tie, I figured out what I was going to wear. Put my jacket on, came downstairs, set up the stream. You know what I mean? Got ready to go live. Made sure all the things were ready for my, mic check. I drew this. I sat down, and here we are. It pumped the second I got here. And again, lately I've been seeing a lot of this bit, and it just does nothing. Bit, you know what I mean? Like earlier today, we were looking for the model to play out. Nice little flag, everything consolidated. Got a nice pump. And it just rolled right back over. Got bullish divergence. Got a nice pump. Rolled back over. Got a flag. Got a pump. Seems like we're struggling today. And they're back and forth again with Iran and the ceasefire. And it's insane. So it never seems to end, right? And again, I can tell you, they could keep playing this game over and over again. To the point of no return. All right, but here's, quick news is the U.S. military launched a wave of strikes on Iranian defenses, radar sites, and IRGC boats after Iran hit 3 commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran claims retaliation strikes on U.S. sites in Bahrain and Kuwait. Fragile ceasefire shattered. Oil prices surged sharply higher, right? And that puts pressure on bitty Bitcoin. We also have the Fed minutes today. We want to see what they have to say. That it's a sensitive situation, so there's more, I usually don't pay attention. I don't sit there and wait on every word. Usually you already know kind of hawkish or dovish after we have the Fed talk after the Fed rate cut. You know what I mean? I've never seen the minutes do anything too crazy, but some people put more weight on them. And again, the financial world will be waiting to see kind of what they say, any approach to that situation, any talk at all. Any whisper of anything sends the market into a frenzy recently. It's so tight. Afro Man makes the news here in cryptocurrency as he comes out with his token. Fro, I think he's a cool guy. I like him. I did not get paid to talk about Fro. I know, you know what I mean? I just want to let that be, you know what I mean? He was going to do something with Ansem. He said something didn't work out, whatever. And again, look, it may never go anywhere. The market cap is tiny. But, he jumped into cryptocurrency. That's kind of more of the news. Bit of a Adam and Eve. It looks like cat ears there, right? And crypto, TA plays out. Anyway, just interesting to see. I saw him there in Vegas, Afro Man. So this looks bearish to me. This looks like a descending triangle on the 1 hour time frame. That looks like it wants to take a bit of a dump here for Bitcoin. I gotta just, you know what I mean? That just looks, it is what it is. That looks like a head and shoulder pattern. The 15-minute I'm on, actually. I think the 1 hour will look almost basically the same. 1 hour sticking to the 200 moving average, which gives you how would I short the bounce on the 200? You know what I mean? It's not like me to short the 200 moving average. But the 15-minute is below the 200, touching the 21. And it looks like it wants to roll over pretty fast. I'm going to map that trade out for a split second here. Look at that dump right now off the rejection of the 200 moving average. We just dumped $200 in seconds. Look, it looks like every time I'm about to show a short or a long recently, I feel like the second I look at it, it's over. But that to me looks like a descending triangle, a head and shoulder pattern too as well. Headed down to 60,000. You look at Bookmap, you got liquidity right down here below it. It says the low there, 61,140 and lower. So it's Bookmap's with you on the short. Telling me there could be a nice short. Can we get down a little bit lower, 60,500 to that psychological area? Take profit, 60,522. Stop. 60, where would it be? Let's see. 62,379. I mean, you got a lower low. You're going to close a tweezer, a red candle next. That's a bearish engulfer. And it looks, you're making a lower high there. Tells me you're going to make a lower low. And then the trend's not in your favor. You've been dumping all morning, though, and you've tried. I mean, you could say, well, isn't it a double bottom, though, Sam? And I could say, yeah, it is. And isn't there support on the 100, on the 1 hour, 200 moving average? And I say yes, too. So that puts kind of like, for me, a little like, I don't know. All right. And I sit and think for a split second and let my mind rest on the trade, right? Look at the 4-hour time frame. Bearish. Close the candle below the 200 moving average. To me, shoulder, head and shoulder. Looks like more downside could be coming there. 1 hour could just close below the 200 and we'd be cooked. It's hanging there. So, I mean, I love to long. This is where I usually long with a stop below this wick. It's crazy how I'm like considering a short. It's rare, though, that the 15-minute looks so bare. Usually the 15 minutes in like a bull flag on the way up or something. It almost tells me that I got to just take the short. Changes parameters a little bit on me there. Now I only get 280, 370 for, it's not exactly 3-1 anymore. It's a little, it's 2.6. See, unless we get a bounce. I'm in a bit of a pickle. I see two things that I would do. One, I would definitely short this. 1 hour, I would kind of long it. All right. Let's see how that 30-minute with the bounce was. We lost it. Yeah, we ended up, we got the bounce there, and we just almost barely retested it. Kind of a bull div here, though, too, on the RSI. You can see that. And do I just stick to the model? See if we cross back above the 200 and just take that trade. Wow, look at the volatility there. Right? And you can see that almost looks like a bit of a diamond, like a small diamond. But in from the bottom says you would dump, right? Wow, look at the pump back to the upside. And see, and again, this 1 hour may make a massive bounce off this 200. Yet again, look at so far, it's attempting to do so. Wow, interesting, right? Big double bottom there on the 15. Now I can see, okay, so I long the sucker then, right? Then I see it make a right shoulder and roll over on me. And I'd long it. I'd try to long. I mean, 200 moving average would be an area. I'd try to get back to 64,000 yet again. That area seems to be like a magnet for the range. And this could just be a little hunt below the 200. We get back above it. 1 hour holds this 200. I don't know. It's sketchy. Candle closes in 38 minutes and 31 seconds. This would be a front run right now. It's pretty big already, considering this would have to be a monster pump, or we would chop around from the buy right now. You see what I'm saying? Like, either you would double up fast. Dang, it's like you kind of missed that time. 61.9 was a little nicer. I like to be real close to that. Do we long this? Like, I mean, this is the life for long. I do this a lot. 200 moving average longs. Right there, it barely put, we didn't get it. Kind of a slanted shoulder, head and right shoulder. You see that? Definitely looks like a liquidity grab. That's why I like just trading the model. I feel safer just trading the model. We got it yesterday. Can we get it again today? Can patience pay off? Or do we have to push it and force it again? You know what I mean? It's like, you can't force it, but sometimes you're like, But what if I? Plays with your mind. Trading plays with your mind. You got to stay calm. Can't let any losses get in your head. My S&P call is underwater right now, about 340. It's not out, though, so we'll see where that goes. But that is underwater right now and taking up some margin. A bit too much, if you ask me. So can we get this tightness here? Can we get the 21 back up above the 200? Can we get the movement? Do we lose the 200 immediately and just go right back into the gutter? You know, you can front run this sometimes and it pays off. Then there's days I do it and I lose the trade and I'm like, well, I shouldn't have front ran it. You know, it's kind of like to catch 22. That's why trading's about your mind, really, nothing else. I realize how much my mind comes into play when it has everything to do with trading, right? 62005. And I'd like to say, can you put it, I hope we get to say, let's put a 333 and did you make gains here on the channel? We can't say that yet. All right, I don't want to jinx it. I guess I already did, but I'd like to be able to say it like I did yesterday, the day before, throughout the few weeks we've been here. So keep showing up with the channel. We're going to, attempt to help you figure out a way to pay the rent, man, every single day, baby, with the education we provide. There's a day's payout here if we're patient, if we kind of sift through the insanity. We know what has to happen. We watch this on a daily. You guys understand this. So look, it's set up for a little flag. That flag pumped, rejection with the rip down. Shredded anyone that thought they could go long. And then ripped up anyone that went short on the dump. Now they've cleaned up both sides. Now it's usually a consolidation, right? Because you pumped and dumped everybody, right? And then you already did it here. Da-da-da, da-da-da. They did it once. They did it twice. Seek and destroy. Seek and destroy. Seek and destroy. I mean, they just boom, boom, boom. Like, they keep pulling in shorts, shredding them. Pulling in shorts, rocking them. Pulling in shorts, rocking them. They almost had me shorting right there, right? I took a breather. If I didn't take a breather, maybe they would have caught me off guard as well. This is where you need the pump here, kind of like a cup in handy. Be so high risk to buy this right now, but it'll be so rewarding if it hits. The risk here, though, is $50 for $500, $100 for $1,000. You see? I'm going to buy that green candle, which I shouldn't be doing. But I like where we're at. Let's see what can happen here. Let's get some consolidation. Let's get a win. Let's get a win here. Let's go after these late shorts up into liquidity zones. Go up here. Go into your fixed volume profile. Snatch it over. Yeah, look. Value area high. We get above that. That can rip. And then I want to take a bigger range. So you grab it again here. Okay. And you take the whole range, like you take the area. It's the area that it's judging, you see? And it tells us we can get up there to 63,000. All right. Chance we can get that rippage up to the upside. Wow, this turned bearish immediately. But it bounced off the 200 here. Let's see. It's a really good risk to reward, so I took it even though it was a little sketchy. I want to see if the 21 can hold me down and keep pushing price up. They might just seek and destroy it. Recently, it's been very hard to trade the smaller time frames. Way harder than it's been in years for me personally. I've seen way less conversion rate. It's almost like I just do it for gains and I wait for a real setup on the bigger time frame. Oof. They got me so fast. Nothing, no love, man. Lately, it's been the way. Like, I just go at I go with the model when I see. I did, again, front run the model. Now, if I get it later, I'm like, But dang, man. That's what I do. Like, I make I made $5,000 on Friday, but then I'll lose like 200, 300, 200, 300. It gets annoying, man. And then I just wait patiently for the better time to go long. The old me would get really frustrated and then just make a huge trade. And then get blown out. Lose half the, you know what I mean? And I did that so many times, like when I first started leverage trading, that I was just like, man, I just got to trade it like a video game and I can't get upset, you know? No, because sometimes even a small win would get under your skin and make me do something stupid with, you know what I mean? Oh, like I'm going to, like, it's almost like I wanted to show them, like I can't explain it. It's like ego trading. You get so pissed, you're like, I'm going to, you know? And you just got to take your L and move on. You know, be okay with it and say, fine, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But dang, man, like, looked like we were going to get another nice move back to the upside only to get absorbed yet again. And the sad thing is that I could see how bearish it looks too on the 15. Like, it's like, so I'm getting mixed signals yet again on the way I trade, which can be good. That's why the way you trade sometimes can lock you in too. Someone who doesn't trade like me might see it so perfectly and be able to short the market or be able to long. But then there's times where I see it so nicely and they don't see it, you know, and there's a trade-off, right? So it just, and that's why you stick to your system no matter what, and you know, you fight through the ups and downs. Still looks like a double bottom to me. But also I see the descending triangle that could take us to, you know, 60,800. What a battle right here for Bitcoin. Yet again, between 10 and 12, it has been vicious. And look, you can almost see like an uptrend there. It's like a tight, yeah, but that looks like a rising wedge too, right? It's like, now they want to scoop it. You never know, it might win. Let me clear my mind and see if I could redirect this and still pull off a win here. But dang, man, shred it up like shredded cheese. And you can see it too. If you watch my channel a lot, you can see, and this is just summer trading is probably the worst. It's very tough. You'll still see people making money and it'll entice you. And you'll be like, how they do, you know? Because every time there's going to be someone who hits, even the worst trader could lose 100 times, but then post their win to the internet. So think about it. If there's a million, if you're just perusing the internet and you see all the wins, you're just seeing, maybe you could literally see 100 traders who never win and just see like a couple of their wins. And then they could force you to make a trade that you don't make. So never trade on what you see on the internet, please. Take a deep breath, walk away, go for a walk. Extract yourself from the hype of the internet. It's not there for you. It's there to make you kind of, it's there to entice you, really. It's advertising, it's movement. I'd like this show to be a grounding show, you know? Yeah, I do have the things that we, you know, that I'm associated with there. You know, I do have a link, but that's just because it's what I use. If you want to trade where I trade, like I'm here on weeks, it's just, that's where I am, you know? If I didn't offer it, it'd be kind of weird. Like, no, don't trade where I trade somewhere, you know, and it's like, well, so this is where I trade. I offer a link to that trading place, right? I've been trading for 20 years. I've given my life to trading. It's nice to get some type of, you know, reward for putting your life into something for 20 years. So God bless all the awesome options for traders out there and lifestyles that are, you know, I dedicate my life to this. So sitting in the seat every single day for years of my life, watching price action. Looks like a double top, like looks bearish, right? See that? I'm not saying it's bull. I just draw this stuff to see kind of what could fill out, what could play out. Then it's next thing you know, today's, you know, it's that type of market. Anything could happen at any moment. It was always like that, but now it's even more. Now it's even more. It's like you got to watch your 6 every 5 seconds. Last night, for instance, looked okay. We had higher lows. We were above the 200 moving average in the 4 hour. We had built up positions for a long time. And exactly. Can you explain which indicators you activated? Yeah. Well, the first thing I get is you go up here to indicators, and this is on weeks. You type in MA, moving average, hit that twice. You'll get 2 MAs. The first one, turn white. Okay. In the settings, turn it white. In the inputs, 21 and 21. Nothing else. The second one, turn yellow. And the style. And the inputs, 200, 200. All right. Then just go back to the indicator, type in RSI, hit relative strength and stochastics, and hit VPVR. But when you do that, go to the settings here and put a 0 next to the 24. And you're going to get like what you need. Okay. Look, value area lows down to 61.6. And it just looks like that fifth. To me, I woke up my first idea, bearish. 50 minutes still has an ability to take it. You know what I mean? Look at me. It's a head and shoulder pattern, is it not? It's foreshadowing that 1 hour may lose the 200. Damn, I took my shot today. I'm about to just leave it alone. So if you go like 2 for 6, let's just say 3 for 9, and you lose 3 that day, you walk away down $900. The worst. So like, I'm never going to lose more than usually 3 trades a day. At 2, I'm already kind of weary. If I win it, like yesterday I lost 2, then I started winning it back. But if I lose 3, then I shut off the day. So the most I'm really going to lose on a day is really $1,000. You see what I'm saying? And if I go 300 for 1,000 and I hit 2, then I could win $2,000 and lose 1 more for 300, and it's still a good day. So the key is to just keep showing up when you're supposed to, no matter what. I mean, I still see a possible double bottom here too, They got me. Look at this. I said it could pump in 2 seconds. Now it's kind of like a double ball. It's like a cup and handle, like it was before. That's what I was originally looking for. It's craziness. If we get a pump back up, it would make an inverse head and shoulder on the daily, which would make it in sync with the 5-day bull div. I like the Force Index. Close today. Close yesterday. Volume today. I just want to gander at the S&P real quick. I'm not in a short. I expect the bounce here. We did get a nice bounce back to the upside there. That's pretty good. But overall, I expect this to kind of consolidate, and I'm holding this trade for a while, my S&P trade. At least until the beginning of August, if I may. You know what I mean? I want to give it a month. So it's a long-term trade that I'm in right now that I posted yesterday, I think, on weeks. Dang, look at that. Now they dump it immediately down. Wow. Vicious on the 1 minute today. Hey, I went against my model. I didn't wait for the 21 to cross. So I was preemptive yet again. I got to be more disciplined. Even me. Constantly getting told by the market to be more disciplined. It's like, it almost hurts to the point of no return. Like, you are always told, like, it's... They don't want people to become traders. They want to kick most people out of this game, man. This is like a small group of people. They don't want you in it. All right. Someone says Trump is talking. Oh, no. Well, I say nice pocket square. I mean, just white. But thank you. Appreciate it. White on white. You know what I mean? And again, this shirt provided by Master Friend from Stealth Wealth. But God bless you, Master Friend. Thank you again. Love this shirt. Can you see through the Matrix, Sam? Thanks for the information, mate. You can see through the Matrix, Sam. Hey, God bless you, man. I hope so. I don't know. Sometimes. Lately, it's been a doozy for sure. I feel like God is testing me. Like, I pray God for strength. He gave me more problems to make me stronger. I really feel like I'm being tested beyond the strength of my like at the very peak of my will. In many, many ways in this last, my leg, number one. Like, I just went through my Achilles tendon being ruptured, and I had to fight through never taking a day off, no matter what. And that was brutal. I got to be honest. I feel like I aged 20 years in the last 6 months, man. I don't look it. I feel like I've been doing good with, but dang, man. Inside, the countless nights of pain I've been in, the pain I still suffer from if I walk for a bit of a time, my leg still swells up, my foot, I still feel as crackly and crinkly. Like there's like, the only way I could explain it, like say you rolled up a ball of tinfoil and shoved it under your skin. And I know it's the weirdest sound, but that's kind of, right? Bring back the ginger shots. The coffee is making trading different. I know, I think you're right. It should be more seamless than this. Falling wedge back to the upside. Send that puppy. Look at this insanity. Almost see a diamond in a way, but it's like, diamond hands is the key. Do not get shaken by the red numbers. Yeah, that's something that is so hard to put into words. And yes, I feel I aged 20 years in one. That's why I was saying really small movements actually really work. I just can't wait to be able to really work out again the way I love to. You know what I mean? Hey, Sam, how about the diamond on the 1 hour broke down? A short above the 400 MA looks like a good setup to me. Thank you for teaching every day. I see what you're saying, too. Like, we just short the 200 moving average now on the 4 hour. Put a stop loss there and see if it dumps on you. I don't know. I wouldn't be so sure lately. It's been so sketchy. I'll be honest, that daily looks so whack right now. It's got rollover status, right? It just got that. Got your Stokes turning. They could flip any moment. Anything could change. It's not like, but this is just, you had the divergence, but if daily divergence can't save us, we're in trouble. Daily divergence is strong. You can't make a higher high on daily div. All you get is these 6 days of pumping and a rollover. Like, you know what I mean? Don't stress it, teacher. Remember Bitcoin at 23. Bacon in the beach days. One love. Thank you, man. God bless you. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light could do that. Hate cannot drive out a hater. Only love could do that. Gratitude and blessings to all. God bless you, man. Alpha today's spot on classics. Thank you. Every time I wear the gray on white, someone mentions like it's like a very Capo Mafia style look. You know what I mean? So like Sam's in his Goodfellas attire over here. Look, it's a symmetrical now, which mainly break down, right? Specifically when you're in the trend to the downside. I'll do my top 10 analysis and get back to basics here. I still haven't done it. I'm like, just because price action's so like, 1 minute deciding who it wants to liquidate. That's all. Only fruits and greens full of light. Thank you. I don't know, Sammy, when Trump speaks, this might pump. You're funny. Sammy's going, yeah, you're funny. Is he, let me just see, no. I don't think Trump speaks yet. Live at the NATO summit. I don't think he's come on yet. Am I right? I'll use my AI. That's a rollover too. That's a dumpy. Look at it. Just says goodbye, senorita, right? So does the 4 hour. The 1 hour battling the 200 right now. The last resort. But look, showing a candle that wants to dump in our face. with a bigger wick. President Trump and Leno need someone to anchor it. Yeah, he's live right now. We'll be live again shortly here on White House Live. He's not live just yet, though. He hasn't said anything yet. I could be wrong. Let me double check yet again. Yeah, for some reason the stream ended. It'll be back in a second. A couple people spoke, but Trump has not fully mentioned anything yet. He could say something in a minute that changes the whole market. The whole market's kind of waiting on him. I got to be honest. The whole market is waiting on Trump. I see a descending triangle about to dump. Let's trade the model on the 15. Let's see what happens here. Let me jump back into the chat too. How's the chat doing today? God bless you all. Thank you for being here and a part of the stream. G, come here. Yeah, okay, yeah. He spoke and left. Okay, that was it. No matter what happens, just know he will show up and make something happen. Trying to see where he is if he did speak. I don't see where he spoke. Was that him right there? No. I don't see it. I don't see that he spoke yet. Someone said he spoke and left. So AI is wrong? I mean, I know it's weird, right? Is it the NATO summit and their active live streams or his remarks, meetings, and press conference today? Trump has been speaking on topics including Iran and throughout the day. The streams are above the most active on the covering his events. Okay, so maybe you're right. You guys are usually right. Okay, so he was talking already, I guess. Or maybe yeah, timing is off too with the different. He's in a different time zone. That's all I'm saying. Huh. Anyway, I can't seem to get the exact feed. Anyone want to... Is he still talking? Let me see what my team's saying. Where's my team? Shano, anybody out there? Anybody out there? Anyway, we'll get back to brass tacks here on the trade. So remember, this is upside down. It looks so good, though, doesn't it? So again, you short position it. This is just bot trading. Like, if I just get my emotions out of it, I don't, bot doesn't care about its last loss. It just keeps going. Tells me this thing's going to go to 59, 952. That's going to be ugly. Stop loss at 62, 458. I feel like I might be too close to the bone. We're going to go down about almost 2,000. And I'm not huge on the risk, so yeah, to make $1,200. I'm just going to do what I got to do, Bo. You know what I mean? It looks so bearish. If that does a dump, whatever, I got to get taken out on that. Like, that's so bearish. That's a head and shoulder, descending triangle, slope down, lower low. Like, just come on. 21 below the 200. It says everything that's no. That's not. It's no. It's a no-go. Dumpage. Maybe Trump was hawkish on what was going on, right? So Trump just said Islamic of Japan. He called Iran Japan, and he got the whole world in crazy miss. He said the word Japan instead of Iran. When you talk a lot, sometimes you say something stupid. It happens, man. When you use your mouth every single day, There's a brain-mind connection every once in a while that just makes a slip, man. I don't care. I've done it, and I'm not, when you, and again, he probably gets 4 or 5. Some nights you just didn't get the perfect sleep. You're running your mouth, and you say something. I've been on my live stream once, went delirious. There's been 4 times I've gone delirious, only for like a minute and a half, but I've gone literally like, I don't know what I was saying. No clue what I'm saying. So here we are again on the 200. Where I would normally long. Well, look, we're already below the 200 now on the 1 hour too, so I'm kind of front running that we're not going to make it. 15-minute just doesn't look good. I got to go for the short, and I got to lose money if it doesn't play out. It just looks too obvious that it's going to go down. I don't know if we're going to go all the way to 59.9, 52, but it does to me say lower. You guys, what do you think? What does the chat say? Let me take a look at the chat. What does the chat think about a trade? Are you guys long or short on the trade? You would attack Biden for making these mistakes, though. I don't know. I'm not a huge Trump fan. Biden was touching little, anyway, I'm not going to get into it. You can say whatever you want. I'm not into both either side, really. I wish there was a completely different political party, the blockchain party, where we put everybody there. Yeah, Biden literally, exactly what this guy says, 100%. Like, it was facts. You could see it. There was videos of it. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. Short since last night, Ricky doing his thing. It's same folks that ignored Biden and his policies. Yeah, exactly. I'm not even going to get into it. Everyone has something to say about it. I don't want to make this a place where people, you know what I mean? We're all lifers here. If you're so into one, if politics takes over your brain, right? That's not the lifer way. The lifer way is to really, really just chill and be a part of something bigger than yourselves. Not be brainwashed by, you know what I mean? We think what we would like to think. We create our own parties. We don't follow what was before us, right? And shout out to anyone in what you believe. God bless you all, right? Playing short 150x of the daily. I'm not into drag queens inside of libraries with kids, though. I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? That's where I am. And again, and I'll stop there. I just stopped there. $10 right there. $19 right there. Come on, baby. $23. Start to send it to the downside. It's breaking the trend line now. The 4 hours below the 200. A lot of things are saying that we should go down. Exactly. I mean, I agree with you. Yeah. No, 100%. This guy says, damn, if you open a short, I might have to reevaluate. 100%. Facts, bro. Straight up. Last couple weeks, man, I've been getting chewed up sometimes on the smaller time frames. And why price has Bitcoin mining become unprofitable for the miner? It doesn't really matter. It's actually a great headline. Every single time it becomes unprofitable and they say that the Bitcoin miners are capitulating, it's very close to the bottom. Honestly, it's not even the bottom until you hear the capitulation of the miners. Every single cycle. And honestly, I want to start hearing that. So that's a great question. And look what I'll do for you. Anyone with a GTP subscription or a Grok subscription can answer this immediately for you. So I'll copy paste that right into Grok for you, buddy. And give you some free. And again, you guys, any questions you have for Grok, let me know. Right? You got a question? I can answer any single question you want. I am a omniscient being. No, you know what I mean? But as funny as it is, I can access the entire world of data. All right? At any given moment in time. What do you need to know? Let me know. It's not politics. It's yeah, exactly. I think you're voting. You're voting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I agree with you, man. We're controlled by some bigger conglomerate. There's no single Bitcoin price at which mining becomes unprofitable for all miners. It varies significantly depending on electricity costs, hardware, and efficiency. All right. So it really depends on your actual setup. Here's what analysis reports are saying now, though. Break even approximately 55 to 65. Average mid-gen. You got to be very efficient. inefficient and other people are, you know what I mean? Average production 78 per Bitcoin. Bitcoin is traded below this level for several months. Okay. So just one idea. And there's websites that track that too. I believe it's about 54,000 right now. Like the general consensus to make a Bitcoin, you know. Wow, they're making it. They're hard. Dude, I feel like I'm like the anti-market maker or something like this. This is so nuts to me. Mining now, simple mining. I just want to see, there's some websites that tell you like the price of Bitcoin. I think lookintobitcoin.com. Wow, look at the bounce there. Dude, I've been getting, oh my God. My goodness, excuse me. I don't like to use the Lord's name in vain. Thought it was called lookintobitcoin.com, or maybe they bought that URL. Anyway, there's a battle here right now for Bitcoin at this key level, right here at 62K. Oh, and it looks like the bulls just pushed through, and the 1 hour may get the bounce off the 200, and then I should be longing now. It's so crazy. Oh my gosh. This is why I've been like trading nil less lately, because it's been back and forth a lot. And I've had mixed signals. It is the 200 on the 1 hour, man. You know, we are a little far for the 21. Like that's usually a rejection right there, right? Nice place to take profit on a long. But that 15-minute just looks like complete trash. Like, I still don't buy it. I really don't. Only time will tell what will happen here. Let's take a look at the bigger analysis and go from there. But that just, dang, man. My heart hurts for the swing. Can we get back out of these key regions? So the monthly still looks bullish to me if we can get a monthly close. You know, we're going to take it one step at a time. I don't like the fact that the wick is getting bigger from the downside. And even though and I didn't like that we pumped so much at the beginning of the month, because like now we still have 2/3 of the month to go, and we got to figure out, like, you know, we're gonna rip all the way up here. Unless we rip all the way to 73K and this becomes a massively large candle, you know, that was a good size for a tweezer top like that. You know, I like it if we had went down, came up, hung out here for a while, chewed around, then started to push up towards the end of the month, then had a little bit of a pullback. You know, anyway. I know I'm describing the perfect candle, but that's what we would like. As long as we get a green next to a red here on the end of the month, I'm okay. Low stochastics. We've come back to a fib from this wick to the top wick. We're dipped into the 618 right here. You can see, you know what I mean? So there's just some levels that make sense to me. People say, oh, but usually we go to the 786. And I get that. Right? Like, that's why a lot of people are saying, but why aren't we going to go all the way down to 40,000? Which we could. That's what, and then this is kind of, we're at this level where like a lot of people are still convinced we're going lower. And a lot of people are like, no, but this is the bottom. And I'll tell you, like, when the fear and greed hits 5 twice and the stochastics on the 2-week chart are below the dotted line, which we'll go to now, like, that has notoriously been a buy zone. Like, and look, you make the low, then you make your second low. Like, that has notoriously been like the greatest place to buy Bitcoin. Like, right there is a similar idea. Look, we start the uptrend in the stochastics. The first trend above the 200, like, we might have a tiny bit more downside. Like it went from 18 to 15, or yeah, what was the low? The actual low of that candle, 15,588. 15,476 was the absolute low. Okay? And we're just in such a similar area here on the stochastics RSI and the 2-week chart. We're in the exact same on the RSI. You know, we're very low. Like, either Bitcoin's going to collapse and go lower than it's ever been in the history of its entire life and go to zero, or this is one of the greatest buy opportunities in the history of the asset. You know, and you can't tell me anything different. I know what I'm saying. I've been staring at these charts for years. I understand the macro, and I can see the probabilities. That's a bull div there too as well on the giant time frames, on the weekly. If it rolls over, it means there's just no bullish support for this. The sentiment is done. Like it does mean there's something seriously, you know. And maybe we need max pain to 43K. And that there's a chance, but I believe that Bitcoin is the asset to take over time, and it's in limited supply. When they continue to print money to zero, is its shield against inflation. People say, but it doesn't act like it should have. You know, now it's being used, bounce, but you have to remember where it came from. It was $1, man. So to me, it's already done what it's supposed to do. It really has. The sad thing is, if you bought it 4 or 5 years ago, it's exactly kind of where it was before. It was supposed to protect your money for that long of time. For me, it did. For 10 years, every 4 years, I look back and I'd say, dang, man, it did it again. It did it again. This has been a struggle. It has seen beautiful highs, though. Just needs to find its bottom here. 5-day chart struggling as well, and one day, tomorrow night, it closes. That could close at tweezer top. And shoulder, head, kind of double shoulder there could be our demise, the bull's demise. Still money to be made. I mean, fighting a tweezer bottom, fighting bull div here. Bull divergence on the 3-day chart. You never see this. The last time we saw it was there in April, right there in August. It's once a year, man. And you get a massive bounce from it. So we're just kind of going through the motions here, maybe finding the last bit of people that we can kind of clean up before a pump. But look where we are with the short now. So they dipped it, ripped it back. So they started to make it look like a pumpy. Then they dipped it. Then they made an indecision doji, which to me is bearish when you're inside of a downtrend. I mean, if that's not a shoulder, head, right shoulder, what is it? If that's not a descending triangle, if that's not Bear City. So I'm saying, no, it's a double bottom sale. Stronger than ever, huge liquidity, you're shorting support. I'd be like, dang, I get it. And I almost can't deny that. Like, look at us on the 200 moving average, fighting it with all of our lives. Just like battling it. You definitely don't want to pump immediately on the hour at 11. That's usually a bearish sign. You're going to make a downward wick and end this candle dump. It did it right as I said it. Let's hope that is the case.
I'll take you anywhere. Just tell me I'll be
wow, what a you got to have like gall of to go live streaming recently. You got to have, I really feel like you need to have like guts of steel, man. This market has been brutal. Like literally, like it's when I hang out with my family and I don't even want to talk about the market. Like I just want to relax with my kids and I just want to be like, I want to put Bitcoin and the market out of my mind, man. I don't know if you've noticed, but this month for me is the month where I attempt to find my peace. I go to an island with my family for about 2 months and I attempt to find my peace. I almost never do. Bitcoin tends to steal it almost half the time. Does something crazy or I got to watch it. I mean, to be the... I love what I do, don't get me wrong. God, thank you for everything you've given me. But I will depict running a trading group is the hardest, most insane, if you care about it and you care about the people in it. If you're not just a money-hungry, horrible person. But if you truly are someone that's built with a heart, like my mom raised me with a heart, and you're into what you do and you run a trading group, you'll be on it all the time. You'll care so much about it, it'll take over so much of your mind, heart, and soul. It is, and I've been doing it for 5 years, every day of my life for 7 years. For 5 years, every day for 7 days. It's no joke. I'm being honest. And eventually you do need to take some time for yourself. And your traders have to understand that in your group. They have to be like, damn, Sam needs to, you know what I mean? And I keep saying, trade a little less this summer. Spend a little more time with your family. Because I know once my daughter goes back to school, we get a nanny back for the day. And then I got these 5 hours. These 2 months are my time to be with my daughters more than I could ever be with them. I get to spend more time with them. And it's important to me to be a dad, man. Last night, I took them all out to a little fun. It's an old Italian place. The food is but I had to do it. It was like a tradition for me. We took them to dinner. Then I took them to the arcade. Gave them the little cards. Let them play. I was shooting aliens with my 5-year-old. We were like... Man, we were going crazy. It was awesome, man. My daughter won a bunch of things in the claw game. She got the vanilla cow. It was just a fun night, man, Then I got home, my family went to bed, and I got back into the charts. I did an update for the trading group. And I was like, I'm not trading this stuff right now. I'm letting it be, And that's not easy to do, okay? I just want to kind of talk about life, I guess, which I should, and I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to talk about life. But honestly, Bitcoin is still amazing. Every day there's still someone in the group that's making absolute, no matter what, I provided a beautiful place. Like last night I perused the group, I see a guy making $14,000 off the trade. You know what I'm saying? So. And I'm just amazed. I'm like, how are they, you know what I mean? Look at this guy. He got $1,200 on the short, kept it real. Right? Exactly. 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 Yeah. Anyway, I get hated on all the time. It's insanity. So anyway, God bless the world, man. It's so brutal, bro. Yeah. But anyway, I've been seeing people do amazing things in the trading group. So I'm amazed. Even days I might have a tough day, I see someone making gains. And again, I say days I've made gains, I see someone else have a tough day. I'm always amazed. That's why you're going to find and learn so much about all the different traders that hang out together on a daily basis, right? So now we sit 61,800, kind of standing still now for price action for Bitcoin. The daily candle looks very bearish. It looks very bearish. Like there's going to be a continuation to the downside for whatever reason. And I've never looked at it this way. It's kind of, could it be like a very weird edit? I don't know. I look at this as still that's still a head and shoulder pattern. There's a shoulder, there's a head. Still a complex head and shoulder as far as I'm concerned that could send us somewhere down to 45,000. All right. So it's all possible. Anything is possible. Always keep yourself open-minded. 4-hour Bitcoin may be coming in. Absolutely. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, it's so funny you say that. When I get asked by friends and family about Bitcoin, I say, come on, let's just hang out and not talk about that right now, right? And compared to the June monthly candle next to it, I have analysis paralysis. Yeah, what time frame for the stochastic? Could you explain why there's a Fibonacci rate at such a widely respected level? Because it's just what happened over time. People have been using it since the, the mid 1900s, and then it got ingrained into the how people trade, and then it gets ingrained to how the bots are programmed, and so then the market tends to just follow that. It's also just kind of it's the threshold for pain that most people can handle. Like someone will be in a trade and they'll long and it'll be down, they'll margin, and then eventually it'll hit the 618, and that's when they get liquidated. It just tends to be where people can't handle anymore. Like it's where the pain eventually gets people going and ends them. I mean, it's looking like it's going to breach here now and just free fall. These are descending. They tend to dump fast and furiously. We've seen it many times on the channel. You flip this upside down. It is the model upside down. We're just trading the model like we're supposed to. We're doing exactly what we're supposed to do. We just flipped it upside down this time. I'm trading the same thing I trade every day, just upside down. I thought head and shoulders should be neutral or upwards. If the chart was upside down, I would definitely say it's about to break out. Right? Fins are divine. It's God's math. Amen. Yeah, fibs are divine. It is God's math. Exactly. Yep. He's right. It's just kind of how we work. It's how the human race connects. Our arm is a 618. This is 61%, right? Of the bigger, you know what I mean? This is 61%. This is the other 40. This is the whole arm. 618 is this area. Your leg is the same way, right? From your high hip to knee is 618. The rest is your shin. So like you're built with the 618 all around your body, right? So that whole idea, right? Vitruvian man. Right? Vitruvian man? You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get any, I think that, yeah. But, you know, the picture of the dude inside the circle, I don't want to show anything that I shouldn't. You know what I mean? I don't know if it looks nothing, but I'm just, you know. But, you know, you can look up the Vitruvian man, and you know what I'm saying. You get, yeah. Okay, baby slide, man. If that doesn't dump, I don't know. Think we're set up properly in the right place. And honestly, almost every day on the channel, I've been saying, hey, bang, 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 right? And the market just absolutely has been very tough. Especially altcoins are okay, but next thing you know, if Bitcoin dumps, it's over. See, altcoins are great until they say they're not, right? Damn, my man broke his leg. Shout out to my man with the broken leg in the group. I see that. That's not fun. Right? So there, we finally slipped into the green there on the short. I wouldn't be surprised if we dip a little bit, get halfway through, and just rip right back up. That's kind of another thing I've been seeing. We don't get the target. Not even close. Okay, there we go. We start to print a little bit there. Let's see this puppy start to go down now. Live trading here on Weeks. If you want to trade where I'm trading, we do have a link inside the pinned comment. If you want to check it out, it's very accessible for you. I believe it's up here in the gray. I don't know why. Like about a month or two ago, I started seeing it differently than the way everyone else saw it. I don't know. I have no idea why. I don't know if it's a glitch with Brave. Probably should just, like Jamie says, just get back to Chrome on Chrome only. I think that's like the message that I keep getting myself. But like when I look at it and I look at the live, oh, it looks like the pin comment's at the bottom now, but it should be at the top, but it's at the bottom now. But it's there, you know what I mean? And you can click on it there if I pop out like the chat, the way the chat looks on the live stream. Not like for me, but for you guys. Anyway, it is what it is. All I attempt to do every day here is give you the proper direction of the market. Every single day. Not easy to do, right? But I'd like to be more accurate than I'm not. Right? Is there a reason you see us staying in the weekly trade? I mean, I didn't risk enough to care. You see what I'm saying? But this looks like it may be collapsing. I agree. It doesn't look amazing, you know. But we'd have to lose some key support. Like, we still have the tweezer bottom on the weekly. Like, all this could occur. You know what I mean? We'd have to lose the weekly trade, we'd have to break through 58K. You know what I mean? So this still may bounce on the 1 hour. This may, you know, this short may not play out. Like, we're battling this key support zone. We're attempting, you know, I don't know. That candle's going to close below the 200 though at 12 o'clock, unless it goes on a massive tear back to the upside. But it is starting to set up. Remember, it started with a pump, and you don't want to start with a pump at 11. That's another reason that gave me a little more edge to, you know, so I use candle bodies now to give me more confidence to enter trades. So if at 11, if I'm looking for a short, and at 11 in the morning, the 1 hour candle starts to pump right at 11, right at 10:59, switches to 11, I know there's a good chance that candle's flipping red. So if I see it start to wick down and it's still green, I could buy into the green candle wick because it's likely it's going to turn. We saw it today. You can go back and replay the stream, but I said it. As I said it, it actually happened. I said, look, you don't want to see a pump at the beginning of the hour. Just like you don't want to see a pump at the beginning of the weekly. At the beginning, right when the weekly candle starts, you see a pump immediately and it pumps for a day or two with no downward wick. I mean, that's likely going to turn into a red candle. It's not 100%, but it's like 90% accurate. Go look at all the candles you see. Like, very few of them, like this one had no wick and pumped up, but it ended in despair over time. You know, they came down and they took out the low of that candle. They made a wick eventually, right after it closed too. So there's a nice dump. They really just kind of sent it to the downside there. I think that solidifies the fact that this thing is going to go. You could see the head and shoulder there. Am I wrong? Bit of a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder. Descending triangle. I should never have even considered that long in the first place at the beginning of the day. Now we can print a little bit here. And again, we're going to attempt to move that stop to break, you know, to break even as soon as we can. If we can get down to this box, where's our break even box? I like halfway through the trade. So we get down here. Price action enters this box. I'm going into break even. All right. Then the price action gets to this box. I'm putting, you know, I'm taking some profit at the first box. And then we win the trade in box 3, right? So just kind of setting, you know, so look, you want this to pump right when at the 15-minute mark. You want to pump right at the 15-minute mark. Because it's going to, you know what I mean? This is exact kind of what we just talked about with the 1 hour candle. This is how you use candles to trade. Doesn't mean it's going to happen every time, right? Look, it can go back and forth. It can drive you mad a little bit, but if you get better at it over time. And there's a probability inside of these too. Now remember the 1 hour's below that 200. It's a big, massive red candle now. Now more people are jumping short, right? Now you're going to get cascations. Longs are getting liquidated now, okay? For whatever reason, people felt like that was a double bottom on the 1 hour 200. They got enough people to long that. And again, I might have long that. I could even see, you know, if I didn't sit here and really spend the time on the smaller time frames, I would have been tricked by the 1 hour. And I would have said, oh, I'm long on that. It's, you know, that's bouncing off the 200. But price action has been overly bearish more than bullish. And the smaller time frames kind of were telling me that. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump says, well, I don't know, a tweet comes out. You know, we finished. It's all peace now. No one believed in the ceasefire. I like to stay positive, so I like to dabble in those ideas, but nobody truly believed in it, right? Send that puppy down to the green box, baby, so we can move that stop into break even. And make it fast and furious. Just send it. I don't want to have to wait. Why? Like, make it like a peeling off a Band-Aid. Like, don't make this hard. It's 61.5 psychological. You're going to have a lot of retail that buy into this price action that have been waiting to buy Bitcoin. 64, 61, 61.5. I like it, they say. Once it breaks 61.5, a swift move down to 61.1 would make sense. Let's take a look at Bookmap and see what Bookmap is saying. It's a liquidity map provider. It shows us kind of where liquidity is. And you can see it's darker below us. Big red is below us. Not too far, but it does say 60,700, which is my first box. So it coincides with my areas where I'd like the trade to go. If you open it up, it looks something like this. We're there, and there's my liquidity right below us. It won't let me do it without playing with the screens, you know. You always got to remember the numbers you're at. You know, 61.5. You know, 21,500. You know, 500s and thousands. It just... I mean, that little adjustment almost wants me to move my stop to that wick there. I love getting made fun of, man. I don't mind laughing at myself. I don't mind laughing it up. So, I've never been one that gets too offended. I have pretty thick skin. My dad was pretty hard on me over time, you know. So, ladies, I know where this market's going. Thank you. Opium, where are we going, man? Did you say 21,500 for Bitcoin? You're funny, huh? Where is Bitcoin going, Hopium, Copium? You've tend to been like a bit of a psychic. No point in continuing, Mom, and just dump 500. It'll go down further. You're funny. I'm shorting everything. Here's a short. There's a short. Every woman are wearing short. Sure, you're funny. Fibonacci squeeze also is plant anatomy because it's the most efficient way for organisms to pack elements without overcrowding. Plants frequently utilize Fibonacci numbers in their growth pattern. Interesting. Look at that little bit of data there. Little nugget of knowledge for you here on the stream. 1 week liquidation at 60,000. Yeah. Will you take a look at oil, please? Let's take a look at oil as it may have had a bit of a jump here. And Bitcoin just slumping on the day. Doing what a risk asset would do when oil pumps. Right? Oil bounces strong on the lows. Is it going to make a huge comeback here? Let's take a look at oil on the bigger time frame. Funny, the monthly is attempting a tweezer bottom, similar to Bitcoin. Another thing, though, is if they continue to print money, oil is going to go up in price, isn't it? Because the dollar is going to drop and oil has a use case. Now, but then you're going to see, well, what's up with the supply and demand, too, though? Looks like it may bounce all the way back up to 100, bounce back down. It might just be going sideways for the next year and a half here. It does look like cat ears, though. Look at this. I'd like this to kind of wick back down. I don't know. Two choices is sideways, but you could get a move back to $100. Just in the interim, that would throw people off. In the bigger picture, it just... Wow, look at that, though. The weekly curving on the low stochastics. Curving on the RSI, curving here. And a falling wedge that is attempting to break out back to the upside. Suggesting that we get a pump here for oil. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a move back. And I stress, too, how risky you have to be. This is a 23x leverage at $1,600. You know what I mean? It's almost a whole big... It's a 0.59 Bitcoin. Just to try to make $1,000 if Bitcoin drops $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, or 2,000, I guess. But my point is, it's like you have to be very risky, even just to make $500 to $1,000. You have to know what you're doing. So that's why I really say demo trade for at least, I say, 6 months. Give yourself some time with this. Don't expect to be a genius overnight. Be okay with saying, you know, it's going to take me 2 to 3 years to really become the trader that I envision. Real talk, there are very few people doing it like you every single day, showing off how to trade and showing wins along with losses at pure respect. It's on us to take the wheel. Hey, God bless you, man. Shout out to Mike. Thank you so much. Dude, nobody can do anything for you. No one can do anything for me, all right? You guys can love me all you want, support me all you want, but you can't wake me up out of bed and tell me to hit that mic. You can't make me make the show go on, right? I got to do that. I got to commit. So as much as people love you and are there for you, you got to make it happen for yourself no matter how many people are there. The key is I want to be the catalyst for you. Start you off right. Give you a system to go by. Give you structure in the morning. You know, you wake up. You start with your gratitude. You look at the sun. If you can, you put in, you get a workout in. Not if you can, but you get a workout in. You get the mind flowing. You get the adrenaline moving. If you're not injured like me, you get a workout going. If you're injured, I get it. Do the best you can. But get a workout going. Get into a routine and change your life. I'm serious. A workout is the biggest life changer for me. Someone said, how do you get out of a depressional rut? Like, I'm stuck and I keep telling myself negative things. And I say, you know what? I started working out every day. And once I started working out every day, something clicked in my mind. Something changed. I was able to build myself up. I was able to talk positive thoughts. You know what it is it's literally, I thought about this the other day. Why was I feeling so negative? I was probably eating the wrong foods. I was drinking alcohol, smoking all the time. You know what I mean? I was just doing things that weren't great for me. And then I was feeling the repercussions of them. And I wasn't doing things that were good for me. I did spend a lot of time in nature. I did ride my bike a lot. That's one thing no matter what. So I think that got me through when a lot of people kind of got, I found solace in moving my body. I always worked out. If my friend invited me, I was always, not working out per se, but I always went somewhere. I was very physical my whole life. But I didn't wake up and have a routine workout. Once I woke up and had a routine workout every day and it became part of my everyday, that was I didn't know at the time, but that was the beginning. So look, you look back on success or any success you've had in life. Like I'm here now. Let's just say I climbed this mountain and I look back on where I was before when I just started climbing the mountain. My stick in my hand, ready to go, right? Didn't sound right. My stick in my, you have a hiking stick, man, a shillelagh. Like, I'm not. My stick in my hand. Anyway, sometimes it's just, that looks like you're going to send it for us, baby. My whole point is you start off, and when you start this journey, you look back. Now I can look back and be like, how did I even get where I am today? Where people actually listen to my channel and watch me. How the heck did I get here? And I'm like, well, when did it start? I said, I remember. I started listening to Jim Rohn online, and I started working out. Then I started listening to, and then I didn't even put two and two together. But one day I was like, what if I play Jim Rohn? Then I knew the workout video enough. I didn't need to hear the guy. I just needed to watch the video. So I said, what if I listen to Jim Rohn while I work out? That took a few years. So I'm not that smart. I'd work out, then I'd listen to Jim Rohn on the train or something. Then one day I was like, what if I do them at the same time? I was like, I'll get my Jim Rohn and my workout. I said, that's a genius move. I said, I'll work out my brain and program my brain. And then I said, then when I'm most impressionable, when I've opened up like the alpha, you know what I mean? They say you got that alpha and you got two parts of your brain, right? You have the, and I know them too. It's like, now I'm drawing a blank, but you got two parts. And you want to open up one hemisphere. When you're working out and you get into a certain area, very susceptible. So to listen to Jim Rohn during a workout, it has like a double impact. It really, and then what he does, he talks about, everyone that's successful has a routine and they work out every day. He even says it, not every time, but he'll mention it. If you listen to him enough, he'll bring up, wow, you must, and again, and as I'm working out or doing a push-up routine that I know is hard for me, that makes me sick inside, that I push through anyway. I tell myself, because I want it better, I want it more than the rest of the world. And if I desire and I push, and if I want it that bad, I'm going to get it. So working out created something in me that helped me achieve greatness. I can remember, so I tell anyone that's struggling, anyone that's, if you're struggling as a trader, I'd say, do you have a workout routine? It doesn't have to be when I trade in the morning, maybe, or when I, but do you pick a time during the day, every day, that 90% of the time, if I call you, you're going to say, hey, man, I can't talk right now. I'm working out. It might be 3 o'clock for you. It might be 10 o'clock. It might be 6 a.m. I don't care when it is. But there's got to be a dedicated moment where you work out. There also got to be a dedicated moment in the day where you turn off your phone. You go into a quiet space and room and you sit in and just meditate. Maybe you get sun outside in your back patio if you're lucky to live in Florida or if it's in the summertime, at least in the East Coast, Northeast. But whatever it is, man, you got to kind of build a lifestyle that helps you through what you're doing, that helps decompress stress. Very important, especially if you're going to do what I'm doing. If you want to live trade, and apparently you do because you're here with me, not live trade, but you want to trade because you're here with me. So if you're into trading and you really want to get into trading, you got to build a lifestyle that's going to help you get through the ups and downs of trading. Because trading is, there's going to be some days where you shut off that computer and you're going to be like, dang, man, it's just going to get to you. It's never going to be easy. The second you think it's easy, just tell yourself, this is going to be difficult. Trading is not going to be easier than my job. It's going to be harder on me, but I'm not going to have a boss ever again. The sad thing this is the saddest thing about trading. You could be amazing as a trader for years, right? Like you could I know you could be profitable for 10 years. And then in like 6 to 7 months of just being completely emotional, you could ruin it. And I always remind myself how big I've gotten, how far I've gotten. And that's why you see me trade small at times. Because I know if I continuously trade big and I get locked in and I get into a thing, and who knows? I don't want to be that guy that used to be rich. I want to stay rich, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to over leverage, revenge trade, open up the account, start using Bitcoin as collateral, say I got it on the back end, start losing Bitcoin. You never know what can happen, man. I've seen it, man. I've seen the richest people get buried, man. And I stay humble. I really do, because I don't want to lose it, man. I made it out the rat race. I busted my butt. I work every single day out here on this live. You know what I mean? I've given a lot to this channel and to the world. If I just leverage traded it away or did something stupid, I'd be very, very pissed about it. So I got to be very careful. I have access to lots of money, not to be rude, or a good amount of it, you know. I could lose a lot of money too, as much as I can make money. And I tell myself that a lot, and I'm open to that idea. Back to oil. So oil on the weekly looks like it could do some damage. It looks like a falling wedge that wants to break back to the upside. It says they're going to stir the pot again. Show me the charts and I'll show you the news. 5-day chart, bullish engulfing candle. Look at that. That closes in 2 days and 6 hours, but that's a bullish engulfing candle. Oversold in the stochastics RSI. 3-day chart, oversold in the stochastics. Is there an oil trade on the 3-day chart? Time to long oil, or just come right back down and they just kind of play games with us? I've never been so wary about because TA is spot on, but when you know that things could change any moment too, you're like, man. I like that though. Bullish engulfing candle, daily getting above the 200 moving average. The daily bouncing back to what? The 21-day moving average. You flip it upside down, it was away from the 21, came back to it. It's almost like right when the 21 was away, they started this. It's weird how the TA maps out with price action. Bit of an inverted head and shoulder there. Cup and handle before the pump. 4 hour headed to the 200 moving average, and then you look here. So it's back to this same idea. If this flags out above the 200, connects to that 21, oil may have a nice little trade here on the 1 hour time frame. Oil looks like it is going to go up. That looks bullish, which adds to the bearishness for Bitcoin. Bitcoin just closed what looks to me is a indecision doji, which is not a tweezer bottom candle. In my mind, that's a bearish candle when you're in a downtrend. Usually followed by a red candle in a downtrend. Because it's indecision when you already have down. Usually followed by a dump. We'll see. But just reading candles all right here, you know. See, it is a tweezer bottom, though. And there's some bull div. It's not really that strong. I'm staying short of the trade with conviction. Get to this first green box so we can get the stop to break even. Get to this box, we can put the stop above this green box. Get to the target, we can win the trade. 1, 2, 3, we do it like that. Waiting and waiting patiently. Look at the patience this takes. It's now 11:32. I think we've been in this one for about an hour. And this is summer trading. It's just a lot tougher than the normal days. It's not going to be the same. Play with your kids, man. Hang out, use this time to be amazing. So I like the S&P. I don't like the S&P when they start wars. You know what I mean? And they start bugging out. However, this has been pretty resilient with that because there's new tech and a lot of other stuff involved. And I really think this just gives good prices. And I'm still, and we got the pump. I'm still stubborn on this pump. A higher low of some sort. You may come into this region. I don't know exactly. I'd like it if I don't get stopped out at 74, though. I don't normally trade the S&P, so we'll see how that goes. All right. And I may just, I'm almost like put it to break even and then shut it down no matter what happens today. It's another one of those days where I'm just willing to keep capital away from risk. Someone who doesn't care about you will force you into trades constantly. Always say, if you actually have a mentor that's in a trading group and he says, hey, I'm not trading tonight, I think that's a big deal. Because that's actually hard to do when there's so much other stuff going on. It's like, hey, tonight I'm not going to trade. I'm going to just say, hey. I also expect myself to give a call every single night perfectly. It's just unrealistic. So, but there has been like weeks at a time where I will hit constantly. We won't miss. We will just keep collecting. It will be like gainitis in the group. Gainitis will come back again. It might be today, right? This might rip down gainitis, baby. Send it. I can say, put a 333 if you took the trade. Let's project greatness today. We're going to win the trade no matter what, man. Let's go. Sloppy bear div. I don't see a lot of buyers stepping in here. 61.5 did show some strong support, though. Psychological support at 61.5. 1 hour time frame. Beat showing signs of life. DEXE at 29, man. And I talked about DEXE going up. It's amazing. Unbelievable. Really the best coin in the game. And I gave it a $3. DEXE. I found it. You know why? Why did I talk? I just was looking at the market. I scanned thousands of coins a day. And this one was strong compared to the rest of the market. Showed signs of life. I see it going to 37. It is some strong bear div there. But it's almost like a double bottom that pump hard. Really high risk at this point. But the use case just continues to show off. And DEXE just continues to separate itself. Look at it. It's been in a bull market for... Nobody talks about this coin. I don't see any... It's been in a bull market since February. When its low was like $1.90. $2. And now it's all the way back up to... It's like about the $30. It's a 15x since February. I gave it here in this flag. I gave it there at I gave it at 350 in this flag right here. Never got stopped out. That entry is still in the money. I gave another trade somewhere around here. And I even gave a trade somewhere around here. It's actually open. Yeah, it's open right now. I gave this trade to the group. It's sitting here right now. And I've showed it on the live stream. The entry is 24. You're in the money now at 29. So that can be moved to break even if you need to. Right? If you feel the need, show there. So there you go. One of the better calls, and that's actually like, it hasn't been that amazing in alt season. That's like the best alt call I made basically in 2026. So, kudos to DEXE, man. Take it over compared to the rest of the market. Let's take a look. I think I see a super chat that came in there. Chubb has not spoken yet, Sam. Got Newsmax on live. Yeah, thank you. Real talk there. If everybody doing it like you every single day, showing the way of how to trade, showing wins along with the losses, pure respect. It's on us to take the wheel. God bless you, man. Thank you, Mike. It's just like these trades are brutal, man. Now it looks like it may come back the other way. Either gets a bearish retest or they force this puppy up hard now. Again, I'm already like, this isn't what I was looking for, man. Like, it's not the game I was willing to play. It broke trend. Another close below. We should continue to dump. I mean, overall, I would love for Bitcoin to recover here and have a massive rip on 61.8. But there's the day trader in me. There's the long-term holder. The day trader just wants to get that day's pay. We go from there. Long-term holders looking out for Sammy for 10 years from now. Two different people, two different traders. Both are, needed in the game over time, or both are, helpful in the game over time to be both people, right? Shout out to all the awesome people here from all around the world. Thank you so much for jumping on in. We appreciate you guys, and we love you. We thank you so much. Stack those Sol, like LTC and Bitcoin, they are IOUs, LOL. I like Sol right now. I think Sol is still a buy. It's the only thing I think. Sol, BNB, Hyperliquid, and Ethereum. Only thing I think are worth long-term buying right now. Love the channel, all you do for the space. Stay blessed, Sammy. Shout out to Joe Doe. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Love for you and your family, your greatness and time. Thank you, Tank Dumpster Diving. God bless you, bro. Thoughts on gold, please. Thank you, sir. Yeah, gold looks okay long term. It's getting near that 618. I always have two charts. I forget which one I use. I believe I'm always using this TVC. Yeah. So I call the pullbacks, to a fib, and we came down pretty nice for gold. We're on a 0.5 fib. There's a chance we kind of hang out here, but as the risk on asset it is, and I don't know, man. I'm just even today. Look, right? I just see it slumping more, man. I see it headed down somewhere to 3,500 before we get a bounce. Yeah, I know VANRY, Vana, or VANRY. Yeah, VANRY. We've traded this on and off. I was looking at it back there. You could see. I don't know what it's doing. The 1 hour looks like it's going to try to bounce, though. I don't know why, but the 1 hour looks like it will. I don't know. 1 hour does look somewhat bullish for whatever reason. Bitcoin's still kind of bearishly retesting here. Showing signs of a bearish retest. Massive pumping coming today, says M. Scott. I found the chart on the White House page, if anyone was wondering. I had it. I have the link there. Let me see. I can go to that link. Let me go to the link over here. It says stay tuned. It says begin shortly. Still not live. Yeah, still not live yet. I got it right here at the whitehouse.gov, baby. I got it right here. He ain't said nothing yet. He's going to come on and say we got a Bitcoin reserve and it's going to rip. It's going to fly so hard, and I'm going to be like, but at least my weekly trade's going to stay fine, and I'm going to lose $100. So, BlackRock keeps continuously, let's go, baby. Positive vibes only all the time. You got to stay positive no matter what. You got to speak positive things to yourself. You got to talk to yourself in a positive way. The one thing that got me out of my biggest ruts when I was down and out was one positive thought is stronger than 1,000 negative thoughts. And I keep having positive thoughts. And I keep telling myself to stay positive. And I keep telling myself no matter what to be grateful. And you know what? There's days when things aren't going as smoothly as they, you know what happened to me is I got so much so fast. My life expanded so quickly that I got used to that expansion. Now, the last year, it's slowed down a little bit. It hasn't gone so fast. And I've had an injury on top of it. So my life has literally physically slowed down in every way, shape, and form, right? Like, I'm not getting subscribers like I was getting a year ago. I'm just being honest. Like, these are facts, right? So whatever, we're still moving. We're still gaining subscribers every day. God bless everyone that subscribes to the channel. But, you know, and so you get used to it, and you got to tell yourself, hey, man, where I am today is so grateful compared to where I used to be. And you got to be so grateful. And that's a practice that you got to get into. You know, like let's say before someone's in the NBA, they didn't make it yet. Then they're in the NBA depressed because they're not hitting their shots that much. And they got to say, hey, man, I know I'm not hitting my shots. I'll get back. But I made it to the NBA, man. You know, I remember a day when this was the biggest dream of my life. So look, bearish retest of the trend line. That's a really good place to either add to your trade. It can be a notoriously good spot. This candle has 1 minute and 48 seconds left. It's likely to close red, but we don't know. You're still the GOAT. Everyone knows it. It always will be, big dog. God bless you, man. Thank you. Hey, man, London closed 8:30. We'll reverse at 1:30. We will then cross the 1 minute 200 MA. I like to hear that. That's cool. And then we can take the long trade later on. That's beautiful. Think positive for 4 seconds, and the next train of thoughts will be similar. Be mindful where your mind goes. Exactly. Catch yourself beating yourself up. This is what I had to do. I had to be like, hey, that's a negative thought. I can't have that. Like, today's going to be a beautiful day. Today, no matter what, I'm going to manage risk properly. We're going to have a good day. You see what I'm saying? And that means we may not win, but we're not going to lose. We're not going to lose a lot. And we may win a lot too, though. There's a good chance things do go our way today. We're trading correctly. I'm trading the model, the 21 below the 200. It's a 15-minute. It's going to take a little longer to do its thing. What a battle of a candle here. Price action. Again, psychological support around 61.5. You're going to see this every time around these key levels. Sammy Cup and Handy. Shout out to King Juve, man. Shout out to Servando Estrada. Shout out to Milligan's Travels. My peoples, bro. Shout out to Blinksy, too. Shout out to Think Twice. Good Vibes. Salopera. Shout out to Ron Turk. Sean Plays in the house. My buddy. Shout out to Mr. BDTD. Rim Ramahad. Shout out to Mega Prashan. Shout out to Jose John. Girl Next Door. Always holding me down. Shout out to Michael Blurry. That's funny. Shout out to Mr. Forex. Shout out to I Practice What I Preach. Gainitis, my man. Shout out to Ricky Pastana. My man. Shout out to Vegas Claw in the house. Always holding me down. In Vegas Claw, I have an important announcement to make. Just so everybody is clear. I'm wearing a pair of pants. You're not going to get me to put shoes and socks on. That ain't happening. But I am wearing a pair of pants. All right? All right? Don't go on. I'm not going all the way corporate on you. I'm still going to stay monk swimming out here. Remember, I'm the original monk. Remember when I said I got to become a monk and I was talking about being a monk? Got to trade like a monk? A monk trading. We used to say we're going to have monk trading. It's funny. I don't know, bearish retest. Now it's trying to crawl in there. This is nuts. Just not going to give it to us today. They're going to make it so hard to get it done. Look at this. See a shoulder, head, right shoulder forming on the 1 minute. That looks like we're going to win our trade. If you look, when you look at the 1 minute. It's promising, but, you know, just send this thing dump already, man. Come on. We got 15 minutes to win this puppy. Send it down. Stop selling aggressively. Futures piling into late shorts, right? No dump. Time for reversal. Someone says Trump dump. Love you, Sam. Bless you and the fam. God bless the dirty skirts. Thank you. I'm preparing along. I think we will bounce. Shout out to Leviton. The Tenacious CG. God bless you, man. Don't call me that. I don't like that. I don't like what you're doing over there. I've noticed you had your lemon water. That's probably the issue. We stopped drinking lemon water. My pineal has been clouded. I got to get back into opening my pineal. Well, you know, the lemon water goes with the working out, goes with the hydration. Everything kind of got, my whole lifestyle got twisted and turned when I hurt myself, man. No excuses, I guess, but I haven't been through such a life change like that in my whole life. You know, I still don't walk completely fine. I still have a handicap pass on my car. I still get to park in the handicap spots. You know what I mean? You know, so it's yeah, you know, it just dang, man. Now they got a tweezer bottom on us. Kind of divergence, but it's so like there's a little bit of divvy there. I feel like we've already kind of entered into the abyss, the rollover zone, where the you know, basically the trend has been said. Now we need to come. Now you need to reverse on like a bigger time frame. Like the 1 hour's got to give us something, and the 1 hour looks like it's going to close below the 200 in about 11 minutes, and to me that's very bearish. And usually when you close below the 200 on the 1 hour, so I think I said the 1 minute, the 1 hour. I think I've done that a couple times. I think I'm losing it. I think I'm getting old. No, I'm just joking. I want to see you spit out your coffee. I still got it, man. I'm sharp as a tack. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. You did it. No, I did it. I know. Like I didn't say nothing. Wow, this trade's been sitting flat like the entire stream now. Well, not the entire stream, but for a good half of it. This is summer, man. I told myself the summer's going to be tough. I took a deep breath when May came around. I said, get ready, Sam. It's going to be a tough couple months of streaming, you know. But hey, man, we still have over 1,000 beautiful souls here on the live. People hitting the like button, comments coming through, people making money. So I still think it's one of the greatest times to be alive every single day, man. And we're staying consistent, right? But turn around, turmeric, and niacin, and ginger, and nothing else can. And more is Sarasota. You get awesome ginger stuff. Wow. Juan Kai. Thank you. I'll put that in my history just so I have it. Juan Kai Imports. Stay up to date. Thank you. Brandonton. Asian grocery store. Cool ball. And now it looks like they may bounce it. I don't know. It's that was a beautiful bearish engulfer. Like you came up, you got retested. Now you're gonna do the same thing again. Like, let me get my mind out. Now what I have to do is like rework my brain out of the short, and like just see it for what it is. So what I do is I delete everything. I look at price and I try to go against what I'm doing in my mind. And you know, one thing that's interesting is kind of like, is that a shoulder? Just kind of a head and a right shoulder that breaks out? Could this be the higher low? If anything, we'd still need to consolidate so we can get the move up to 70,000. You know what I mean? Something like this. You got to get the bounce though. And then the tightness, then the retest, right? It's like very overbought with the RSI showing a divergence, the stochastic showing a divergence on the indicator. Wow, we haven't seen 7 the entire stream. We're back at 61.7. Or not the entire, but since the dump really began. Oh, I guess we did on that wick, but that was very fast. I'm only risking $100, folks. It's like, wow. Like I've never had to wait so long just to attempt to make $1,000 or $500. Like, $35 beautiful dollars. And then I paid 18, so I'm not. And then when I get out, so it's a break-even trade. I'd love to show a nice little tight gainer here down to 60,008. The chip away theory, man. The trader that trades small over time makes more money than the people that risk massive amounts over time. But people don't want to believe that. They want to be oohed and awed by large numbers. That's fine. I am too, man. It's cool to see, right? It's like, hey. I know a lot of people that consider my trade right now extremely high risk. $1,600 at 23x level. Like, they're like, that's insane. He's on the 1 minute, the 5, and the 15. Like, what? Like, I know even a few years back, I would look at this and be like, what is this man doing, you know? What are these? I'm always drawing. I'm like, what? Oh, yeah. What was I drawing over there? We were talking about a guy with a stick in his hand. Remember that? Amazing. Amazing. Hey, that's what we said, right? Can almost extend this and say, are you just going to continue down? And I'm going to leave it where it's at. Another bearish retest? Like, you want a bearish retest again? You want to show us that you just can't get back above previous support yet again, just in case? You want to just test 61.7 one more time? I mean, clearly, we get reversals quicker than this. If anything, this would tell me that the reversal is weak and that the bears are eventually, like, they're the ones pressing. Like, we're going to eventually roll over on top of the bears. I mean, on top of the bulls. But we'll see. I mean, I'm obviously biased right now. I want to win. I desire to win the trade, right? So close to break even now. Stay calm always. Stay cool and collected always. S&P trade still down in the dump, and that will dump with this one too. So crazy. Back to 61.7. Now you have to see, am I going to crack the 200? You know, if the 1 minute gets back above the 200, then it's like, oh. And if you want to trade where you trade this weekend, I gave a beautiful call on Bitcoin. We made over $1,000 on the Sunday on a massive pump out of a can. What was it? A reversal diamond. Also another call on another flag on the 15-minute. The next day too as well. Pretty crazy. Go to cryptolifer.com to find out my interesting way of looking at the market, and you can get it every single day. Get an update in the morning and at night too. A video update every single day. Kind of like a video, like an exclusive video just for you. Explaining what I see happening in the market and what we should look for. If there's a possible short, possible long. Sometimes there's no trade when I put it out, but I'm telling you what to look for. If you live in Dubai, Singapore, and you're going to be up for the next 5 to 10 hours and you're not in my time zone, it could really help you out in your trading throughout that day. So look out for my night update, my morning update. They come in every single day. And then I'm live throughout the day too. And then I'm inside the trading group. So you get so much of me every day. And I bookend it with a video update. Every once in a while, I might not give a video update. It's like, 10%, maybe 5% of the time, but 95% of the time, you're going to get 2 video updates a day. Unless I see something in the charts that's so obvious and I just say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is the chart. And you don't even need to watch a video update. I'm just like, this is it, Another 50-minute candle will close in about 2 minutes and 36 seconds. And that's going to be at 12 o'clock, right? Then we're going to be very interested in what the 1 hour candle does immediately. If it starts to pump immediately, that's what we want to see. So if this candle opens, it starts to pump. That's what we don't. If it starts to dump, then it could become a bottom. So we're going to know literally in 3 minutes here, 2 minutes, and we're going to watch closely the 1 hour candle. It's going to tell us a lot. It should pump to my break-even area, like 61,750, then make a nice wick back down, and then dump down to 61,4. That's what we would love. That's what would be nice for the 1 hour here. Get this move further to the downside. Here we go. And the candle closings are oh so important, you know. You take a look here. DEXE really the big winner, lit the big winner. EtherFi, Uni, Pepe, HTX in the last week. In the last hour, beat. Not to everything's watching Bitcoin. When Bitcoin gets thrown off, when Trump is about to talk, when things go haywire, right? And so they're still saying they'll begin shortly. They never Ankara, Turkey. You know, they never still. I don't think Trump has still really made the bigger statement that people are waiting on. We have it on live here. If it did come on, we would present it to you. $51 seconds still candle close. This candle is going to close below the 200. That definitely adds into my favor for the short. But it doesn't solidify a win by any means. If you're new to the channel, just jumping on in or you're watching right now, I was looking at what's called a descending triangle, the 21 below the 200. Flip this upside down. I've seen it, you know. It also could have some bear div there that forces you down. I mean, now you got stochastics very low. They want to pump back to the upside. Low stochastics. They never really revisited the high. They kind of double bottomed as well. And now I want to see, we should get a little bit of a bump here right now. If we're bearish, we get a pump on this 1 hour candle. 2, 1, watch. Okay, watch right now. Boom. Candle opens. Pump, 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 pump. You want this thing to pump. Very good. Pump. You want it to pump up to the red line, somewhere in here. You don't want to dump. If it dumps immediately, it could make a tweezer bottom. If it pumps immediately, it could become a nice bearish candle. So far, so good. Setting up for a dump. Setting up for a dump. Now it starts to go down, 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 turns red, and then bang! We drop it like a bad habit here, 12 o'clock. I'm going to give it about 5 minutes just to watch this candle reaction here at 12. Come to the red line, near break even, maybe a little bit above. Heck, touch the 21 would be nice. Then start to dump. So predictable, right? Not predictable, but so interesting, right? How you think about it. Now, what if it becomes a massive green candle with no wick? I've seen it. Anything can happen. It's so insane. No matter how, you could study this up for days, and then it does something you've never seen. That's the hardest part about helping a beginner trade. They get confused by anomalies, and you gotta tell them to trade through that. And only will you know that's an anomaly if you continuously trade through better probabilities, right? I mean, that candle turns green, it turns red. It's gonna have a nasty wick to the downside. A nasty one. Actually, the most ideal setup so far for bearishness that you could ask for. And we'll see, though. What if that candle closes green and makes a statement? Okay. Like to see it make a wick at least. As Sam sits and stares into the abyss of price action. Candle by candle. Day by day. Brainwave by brainwave. As I burn through brain cell by brain cell. Bing, 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 bing. I have shut down How many days can I analyze markets before my brain shuts down and turns into a raisin? Bang. Sam Price, the AI bot, 2,000 days straight, the only human to live stream more than an AI bot ever thought it could. Every single day. From around the world, man. He went from different continents, 100% around the world, to Singapore, 24-hour flights, did live streams at the Qatar airport, did live streams in the Singapore airport, was able to never miss a 24-hour period of live streaming, no matter where he was, did a live stream in Qatar Airlines inside the airplane. The man, the myth, the lifer. But seriously, that's all true, right? Time lapses, building the stream. I've got 2 studios in 2 states. I've got equipment all over the place. Turn red, baby. That's exactly what we want to see now. Now, you don't want to see it turn green again. It turns green again, it has a tweezer bottom. It has a fighting chance now to win. Now, it's really crucial that we get a bigger red dump now. See, that now could become your bottom. That now is like, because that has the visuals of a tweezer bottom. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to have something sticking out. Doesn't sound right, but you know what I'm saying. You want this to come down and take out this wick. You want this candle to take out this wick. Takes out this wick, it solidifies the idea this candle will turn red in about an hour. What a battle I'm going. Look at what I'm doing, how patient I have to be to make $500 and how much money I have to use. Not only using $1,600, I am being stingy with it. Other people are like trying to scalp massive amounts for one move, but you're wrong a couple times, you can lose massive amounts of money. Next thing you know, you're not, it only takes 5 to 6 losses straight to be completely wiped out. You don't want to be that guy. I've seen people hit YouTube channels bigger than mine. I don't know who they are anymore. They don't trade ever again. There's people that were like, they were out they were doing so much. They had books out. They were the greatest traders of all time. And they disappeared, man. I don't know what happened to these people. They're gone now, right? Or they start making videos. They make videos for about a year and then they disappear. All right. Look at that now. That is now putting me back for the first time into the red that I've been inside the trade. And now it does look like we may get a beautiful inverted head and shoulder reversal. Now you got to look, is the 1 minute getting back above that 200? Is it possible? There's a chance. Fun times with the lifer, man. Thank you for jumping on into the live stream today. And I usually run out of steam at about 12 o'clock. I just don't have it in me to keep talking. I don't know what it is, but after 2 hours, that's kind of maybe some people can do it for 3 to 5. If I pace myself and I know it's a live stream, I can do it, but I tend to lose steam too at one point. I'm just, I'm like, all right. Still not buying this reversal, just, could say, isn't there a bull div there? I don't know, man. $61,763, and it really, it's the battle on the 1 hour candle now. Closes green, we have a chance to get back above the 200. Closes back above the 200, we go back to the 21. We're a little far from the 21 too. Not too bad though. I could see a continuation there. We'll see. It took me 2 hours to lose 15 minutes. Amazing. It was entertaining, at least. It's like being at the craps table. I mean, I say that with satire in my mind. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just risk a few hundred with high lev. Exactly. Sam, you could say, yeah, exactly. Good pump, though. Let's watch it, though. You're funny. There we go. Sketchy price. Close that. Ukraine is now going to make Armentos, which I don't think is a very good idea. Yeah. Time for low cap long shots. He says Trump speaking. No. Okay, here he is. He is speaking now. Thank you. Yes.
Erdogan is really a great man. He's a great leader. He's a friend of mine, been a friend of mine for a long time. He's a strong person, a very strong personality, and that's why he runs such a successful and good country, and really a great, I would say, a great country. Militarily, he's very powerful. People leave him alone, but he's really done a fantastic job. And from the moment we got off the plane, you look at the airports were beautiful. They built a new terminal for our arrival. Everything was beautiful. And so I just want to thank President Erdogan, who's done a fantastic job in Turkey. And I also want to thank NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte.
He's tired, man.
Mark is a
But God bless him. I hate when people say that about me, you know? But he goes
Smart,
around the world all day
great
long,
leader.
man.
It's not
Guy doesn't
easy
stop.
leading so many leaders like that. You get a lot of leaders, and they're strong personalities, every one of them. And Mark does an unbelievable job. Couldn't find anybody better. I just want to say there was tremendous love in that room. The press got to see the sitting, but they didn't get to see the speaking. And I actually said, it's too bad the press couldn't see this, because every one of them spoke for a little while, and I spoke for a little while. And it's a lot of speeches. We kept it short, but it's too bad the press couldn't have seen what we were doing in that room, because it was very smart people, and they have a lot of good in their heart, not evil, good. And they're doing a great job for their country. The world is doing well. We have, as you know, the oil is down. We'll see whether or not we keep it down. We should keep it down.
Pump it today.
Doing things that should have been done 47 years ago with Iran. And I just want to say that throughout my first term and over the past 18 months, the United States has led a historic effort to dramatically increase the defense spending and to have equipment that no other country in the world has. When you look at Venezuela, when you look at Iran, essentially demolished their military in a couple of weeks. They had a good military, they had a good navy, they had 159 ships, everyone's at the bottom of the sea. They had hundreds of airplanes, they're all gone. They're all lying burned up on the runways. They were totally decimated. Their radar's gone. Everything's gone. Their leaders are gone, frankly. And their combat capability is pretty low. They have a small percentage of missiles left. They have some of the missile launchers left, call them launching pads, but most of that's been destroyed too. So we have the strongest military in the world by far, not even close. Everybody admits it. Last year's summit in the Netherlands was great also, and we achieved an unprecedented agreement to increase the annual defense spending, and it's the benchmark, raising it from 2% to 5% of GDP.
Get your kid a Trump account. I don't care if you're people that don't get them just because you're a Biden subscriber. Get yourself a Trump account for your kids, man.
Couple of that didn't.
Don't make your kids pay because of your political views. Get yourself a Trump account. So important.
In fact, today they were very positive. One of them in particular was, I didn't think a good team player. Today was a great team player. As all of the leaders understand very well, the United States remains by far the largest contributor to NATO, monetarily and maybe otherwise, and the strongest military anywhere in the world. And they respect us as a country. Again, they didn't respect us 2 years ago. They laughed at us. NATO laughed at us. Everybody laughed at us. They don't laugh anymore. There's no more laughing. This year we invested a record $1 trillion in our armed forces. and we're going to be asking for 1.5 trillion coming up. We have the money being spent on the best equipment anywhere in the world. In the working session this morning, we discussed the progress other members are making toward the 5% target, and they're making great progress. Many of these countries are very rich, by the way. We don't have to feel sorry for them. But it doesn't mean they're properly protected. There's a big difference. Some have truly answered the call, and others are making big changes and will be answering the call. I think I can say in all cases they're going to be answering the call. And we'll be taking in over $1 trillion a year toward defense. And that's a tremendous amount of money. It's a big up. They were at 2%. They were actually at 1%. I got them to 2%. Then I wanted to get them to 5%. And we got up to 5% the last time. And they're, just again, if you could have seen the respect and the love in the room, and it's love really for the country, for our country. I don't want to say me because you'll say, oh, he's so conceited. He's such a conceited person. But they do. I mean, they like the job I'm doing. They said, sir, we love you. These are grown people saying that. Isn't that nice? Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're trying to get to me. And in a way they did, because there was tremendous unity in that room. And I urge all nations to accelerate their plans to get the benchmark as quickly as possible. The benchmark is going to be that 5% number. That's the number it should have been for years. As a result of the commitment we achieved last year, defense spending of other NATO members surged by more than almost $150 billion in 2025, and much of that money is being spent on American-made equipment. They all want American-made equipment. We're pushing very hard to have the defense companies, and they're great. We make the best equipment, the Patriots and the Tomahawks, and everything we have is considered to be the best. Not by me, it's everybody wants it. I wish we made it faster because we could sell as much as we could make. And as you know, I had Lockheed and every one of the companies, all of the companies.
I'm happy for all that, but it's not what I,
example,
we
Boeing.
make things that could kill
So
everyone
many
else.
of those great companies are now building plants.
Human destruction.
They had big plants, but they were using them 24/7. I said, that's not the way to do it. You have to build more plants. You don't have to just go overtime. No tax on overtime. Remember that, please? No tax on overtime. Those people are happy. But they were doing literally 24 hours to get the Tomahawks done and the Patriots done and all of the other defensive and offensive equipment done. It's the most sought after equipment in the world. You saw that with Venezuela, where they had a lot of great equipment. It wasn't ours, and it didn't work. Our equipment works, but we have to produce it faster for other countries. For everybody, including ourselves, we have to.
That was a hit on China because China gave them the tech.
A year
you basically just told China that you got nothing.
We'll be, instead of waiting for a year or 2 years.
Got to read between the lines.
We'll be having it on a 2-week wait, maybe a 1-week wait.
Basically said your stuff doesn't work.
And it'll do really well. A lot of people are, just waiting. They're waiting. They want to get this defensive equipment, maybe in particular the defensive equipment, but offensive and defense. As much of that money is being spent on American-made equipment. That's the money that the European and Canada are spending, European countries mostly, and Canada. And they're spending that with the United States, largely. And it's American-made, made in the USA, as we say. Weapons, munitions, supporting thousands of American jobs. This will increase. We have the highest number of jobs. Right now, we have the most people working in the United States that we've ever had in the history of our country. We have the biggest investment ever made, $19.2 trillion. That's 6 times more than we've ever had. Think of it, 6 times more. And what did that were tariffs. Without the tariffs, I think we would have done fine, like at about 2 or 3. The last administration had much less than $1 trillion invested for 4 years. We have $19.2 trillion invested in 1 year. We haven't gone into the extra almost a half a year, 1.5 years. Those numbers won't come out for a little while. So we have 19.2 trillion, not billion, not million, trillion with a T, invested in plants and equipment that's being built all over the country. Eli Lilly is building plants, big drug, Merck, all of them. The drug companies are building.
We're so happy.
The car companies are building like crazy. In fact,
More
as you probably saw, a
pharmaceuticals to
big
pump
announcement
down the
yesterday,
Americans. Like,
Toyota
I'm not
is
hating on
leaving
him.
Mexico, and they're
It's just the idea of where we're
one of the
at in
biggest car
society. You know,
manufacturing
it's not
plants in the
Trump in
world in
general. It's just
Texas.
society.
That's because of the tariffs, because we don't mind if you build in Mexico, but if you build in Mexico, you have to pay 25% tariff. If you build in Japan, or if you build in
Yep.
any place, now China is a much higher tariff. It's a 100% tariff because we don't want to lose our jobs. We don't want to have our workers lose their jobs. We have the largest number of plants being built for the most money ever in the history of our country. Car plants, AI plants, and all other plants, pharmaceutical plants, chips. We're not giving anything. All we're saying is, if you don't start, we'll give them a year and a half to 2 years to build their plant. If they don't have that, they have to pay 100%, 200%, even 250%. If they make a chip, or if they make a car, if they make pharmaceuticals. So the pharmaceutical companies are moving in at record levels. There's never been anything like what's happening. Let me put it a different way, put it to you in a more broad fashion. There has never been anything like has happened with this country or any other country in the history of the world. There has never been growth. There's never been manufacturing plants being built. We have so many being built. And in the big ones, like AI, some of the AI, we let them build their own electric plants. We force them to build. We don't want it because the old grid that we have wouldn't be able to supply it. They need, just as an industry, more energy than the entire country produces right now, when you think about it, which is incredible. So take all of the energy that the United States produces, and that one industry, which is so big, so powerful, it needs more than that. In fact, some people say almost double. So this was my idea. I said, you can never service that. You can't reinvigorate the grid. You can make it better, but nothing like that. You wouldn't be able to build. And we're leading China.
I voted for
in
Trump,
AI.
man. I want to make that clear because he
Well,
was
in
pro
most-
crypto.
Just about everything. But we're leading China in AI.
I think people don't have no idea
Even in TikTok,
what my
you know,
views
I was
are.
watching
I get
somebody
attacked by
say,
both
the
sides.
TikTok deal.
So crazy.
It's so bad well, because they say the deal was incredible, but they think the word that gets out is bad, except the numbers just came out, and I'm number one on TikTok, and all I do is talk about communism, right? So it's sort of good. I used it to get elected too, but you know, you have to get your word out. But the numbers came out just a little while ago, and I was number one. Some ridiculous number. I never heard of numbers like that, but number one. And all these entertainers are number 27, 29. It's crazy. I don't even understand myself. But that means that my word's getting out about how great our country is, how successful our country is, and how bad communism is, and how bad these lunatics are that are running for election that don't sound good, don't think good, and don't look good. I don't see any looker. I don't see anybody with the look. You know, you need the look, I guess. You need something, but they don't have it. And I think they'll fade fast. And it's not social democrats. This is not a social democrat. These are communists that are running. And they don't want God. They don't want successful things to happen for our country. They don't want to have a successful country.
No,
I think they're sort of crazy.
they want to smother us.
As European nations rebuild their militaries, American equipment will be the largest beneficiary. The defense companies are going to be making most of that equipment. They want the American equipment because it works better. It's not a question of anything else. We make the best equipment in the world. And to that end, I provided other leaders with an update on the steps we're taking to rapidly scale up production in the United States. And they wanted to hear that because they don't really want to
back
get
here
it in
again
4
where I
years,
was
5
earlier
years. They want to
today.
get it like in a
So
week.
crazy.
And we'll actually be at a point like that in the not too distant future with the plants that are being built. The defense plants, it's incredible. Lockheed is building, I think, 5. Some of them are building 3, 4, or 5, and they're big ones. It's going to quadruple
I had a little
the
downward look.
output of we have with the munitions and and
That's
the
good
basic
enough.
equipment itself, whether it's
That'll
a
close
Patriot,
bullish engulfing
or
back above the
Tomahawk
200.
missile, or
That's
any of the
bullish.
missiles that we make many missiles, different types, for different occasions. And just today at the summit, we announced $3 billion of new defense investments with U.S. companies. And Lockheed Martin will establish a world-class Patriot missile sustainment facility, a big deal in Europe. They're given a tremendous incentive by Europe to do that. All goes to the benefit of us and Europe because they're getting the best equipment. Northrop Grumman is moving forward with the sale of advanced American drone technology. We're actually the leader in drone tech. A lot of people don't know that. We have the most sophisticated drones in the world. And we're a real, I guess we're the leader, but we'll soon be the leader by many times over. And Lockheed and Rheinmetall are announcing a partnership to build the Army Tactical Missile Systems, which is a big deal. And Anduril is announcing a deal to build their new Barracuda missiles, which is a very highly sophisticated,
S&P bouncing.
fast missile, and we're doing that for Poland. Poland's doing very well, by the way, with a very, very good president, great president, I think. All of these agreements
Still like
directly
the
benefit the U.S.
weekly and the monthly
defense
longs.
industry and base. And what it really does is it means jobs. And again, I have to just say that when Toyota announced yesterday, I wasn't that surprised, but everybody wanted to get that. That's the largest, I think it's going to be the largest plant in the world, car plant, and they're moving into the United States. And again, they're doing that to avoid paying the tariff, because if you build your product here, you pay no tariff. If you don't, you pay a 25% tariff, depending, 35% sometimes 100%, 200%, depending on what the product is. As an example, we're doing great on steel because we charge tariffs. So now all of a sudden the steel industry, which was absolutely dead a few years ago, I revived it in my first term, pretty good. And then they blew it in the Biden term. What a shame. They just blew it right out the window. They had no idea what they were doing. And I quickly revived it at the beginning of this term, year and a half. And the steel business is through the roof. We don't even make aluminum anymore. Now we're going to have the largest aluminum plant in the world being built in Oklahoma. I love Oklahoma. 77 out of 77 counties, 3 times. And it's great. It's a great state. They're going to be building the largest aluminum plant in the entire world in Oklahoma. It's starting very soon. Over the course of the past 2 days, I had a number of excellent discussions with other leaders at the summit and held productive bilateral meetings with essentially all of them. We had dinner last night. Just about all of them were there. President Erdogan of Turkey, as well as President Zelensky, and he just came in, as you probably saw, had a little press conference, and also President al-Shara of Syria, who's doing an unbelievable job in unifying Syria. What a job he's doing. Syria was a mess with what happened with the previous government. You know that. Very dangerous place, and now it's just come together. He's done a fantastic job. People are talking about it. In every conversation, it was clear that America is back, and we're stronger and bigger and better than ever before. We have more jobs, as I said, than ever before. And we're respected again like maybe never before. We are so respected as a country. That's why I wish I told the Secretary General, Mark, I said, it's too bad the press could not see what's happening in this room. You saw the big round circle with all of the leaders of all of those countries. And I don't know, I think they should allow it. The theory is that they won't be speaking quite as freely and it won't be quite as good, but who knows? It was amazing, actually. The unity in that room was incredible. Really a love. It was sort of pretty wild. There was a love in that room that was great. So this was a tremendously successful summit. And again, I want to thank President Erdogan, Turkey, and so many of the presidents, prime ministers. They were all here from NATO, the NATO countries. And in particular, we have to thank the Secretary General Mark Rutte for doing a fantastic job. He really put on a tremendous, his was just something, he's a unifier. He's a tremendous unifier. So I could take a few questions. We've done a few of these already today, so I don't think we should take too many. I don't think we should take, right? So we're going to keep it a little bit short, and I know a lot of you are going home. Some are going with me. So go ahead, please. Sir, yes. Yes.
Always these
No,
weird
the
spikes lately,
gentleman right here.
constantly, like just bing bongs.
A
Like,
very tall gentleman who's very insecure. He doesn't want to ask the question. He's a handsome guy, but he's very insecure. Go ahead. Do you want to shout it out? Give him a mic. How about giving him a mic? You shout it out.
Mr. President, your operation in Venezuela has been lauded as a military success, and yet the Iran war seems to be a strategic dead end for you. Why are you apparently unable to end the Iran war?
So I think we're doing just the opposite. The Iran war has been a tremendous military success. And, you know, I can only answer the question by saying they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. I think I was there for one reason, that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I call it, we denuclearize Iran, and that's happened. They will never have a nuclear weapon. That stuff is so far down under a mountain. It's a granite mountain that collapsed on top of it. Take months to get it out. I think it's a tremendous success, Iran. And you see the oil prices are lower than they were when I started. And people like to say that, but look, they have no military left. Their Air Force is gone. As I said, their ships are gone. 159 ships are gone. They're at the bottom of the sea. Their radar is gone. Everything's gone. So when you say not a success, it's a tremendous success. The fake news likes to say how well they're doing. They're doing terribly. They have 350% inflation. When the war started, they had like 6%, 5%. They want to make a deal, but they don't know how to make a deal. And then they go around shooting ships at night. I don't like that. You know, they're dealing with very fine people. They're dealing with Steve Witkoff. They're dealing with Jared Kushner and J.D. Vance. And they're dealing with Marco and Scott. They're dealing with great people. But I don't know. I think they're a little loco. They're a little crazy. But they told us they'd like to go to the funeral of a person who killed a lot of people. Khomeini killed a lot of people over the years, and there for a long time. Don't forget, what we did should have been done 47 years ago. It could have been done any time within 40. This has gone on for, they were the bully of the Middle East. So they're a much different country. Now, in one day, all of their anti-aircraft things are gone. That doesn't mean they're not going to get a plane at some point. But all of it's gone. Everything's gone. Their leaders are gone. They had leaders, they're gone. And they had another set of leaders, they're gone. Now they have another set of leaders, they may be gone. Who knows? And you know what? I may be gone too, because I'm their number one target. It's out all over the place. I'm their number one, because they're scum. That's the way they act. And that's the way they've done it for 47 years. But I'm doing what's right for the country. I'm doing really what's right for the world. They have to be stopped. And they've killed thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. They killed 52,000 protesters over the last 3 months. So when you say we're not doing well, I think we're doing phenomenally well. Our military has been
they try to control the
Plus,
narrative
we
with
had
the
a blockade.
questions.
Did we have a
You know what I
blockade?
mean?
Did you ever see a blockade work that way? You know, for you that said we're not doing well there. We did great in Venezuela. That was a one-day war. And they're very good military. You know, it's a very military country. We took out one of the worst human beings in the world, Maduro, and he's in jail waiting for trial. But what he did to this country was incredible, including the fact not only the drugs, but he had people pour into the country from prisons. They opened up their prisons. They allowed them to come in.
Oh, God.
We're getting them out. We're getting them all out. But we have, with the Biden open border policy, with Kamala as your border czar. Remember, she was a border czar, but she never called Border Patrol, never once, and she never went to the border. The border was a disaster. Now it's fixed. It's fixed where we have nobody, and I don't do these numbers. 0 people.
I know
come
it's
in
on mute.
through
I was
our
talking to my
border,
wife.
through our southern border. 0. And that's been announced now every month for the last 12 months. 0. We had millions of people come in, under 25 million people, I think more than that, under Biden. And they weren't people that you want, and for the most part, they were drug dealers. They were escaped from, think of it, all the prisons, and I'm not just talking about from South America, I'm talking about from the Congo, I'm talking about from all over the world. The prisons were emptied out. They were emptied out into our country. But they had the worst murderers. We had people allowed in our country.
Shout out to Tony Rosas. God bless you, bro. Long time.
Through an open border policy. And
Miami, baby,
all
Miami.
I'm saying is that you're lucky
going
we
back
won
and
this
forth.
election.
Celtics, Miami. I'll never forget that.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No,
Sammy for president. Let's go.
Who you with?
NTD
Why don't you
Television.
say your name and who you're with? It's always helpful.
Thank you, Mr. President, for doing this. Iris Tao with NTD, with a sister media with
NTD,
the
I like
Times.
NTD. They're
Okay.
On communism, you've been issuing a wake-up call to Americans at home about the dangers of communism, and now
Yeah.
you're speaking on the world stage. What's your message to people both living under communist and socialist regimes, but also people living under
Kamala.
democracies like in Europe and
Kamala.
America, who might not have realized how close communism has come to home?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. But
She knows.
look, I want to get the word out.
NTD is
because
all
what's
about that.
forming is
I used to watch them a
communism
lot,
in the
honestly.
country.
During COVID, they were
Communism
putting out a lot of good
easy to
stuff.
sell. I would be the greatest communist in history. I'd be right up there with Lenin. I'd be as good as anybody. You've got free rent for the rest of your life. What they don't say is that you'll be living in squalor in 12 months. You've got a free house. Would anybody like to have a free house? We'll take it away from somebody. We'll give it to you. You'll have murders all over the place. Communism's a disaster. It's been proven to be for thousands of years under different names, but
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
It's very important. And, it's funny. One of the reasons I do so well with Hispanic people, I set a record.
I should be the
Republicans. I
crypto
get
czar for sure.
great numbers for the elections.
I agree.
Helped me get elected in a landslide. The Hispanics, because a lot of them came from countries that were essentially communist. Whether you call
Dude,
them
this is,
radical
like,
socialist
brutal.
or communist, is
I have to be
that
like
much, but
perfect
there's a
at the
little
bottom.
difference.
It's just like
When they say
I had to
social
long that 1
Democrats or
hour.
social
the,
Democrats, it
the
sounds
small
so
time
nice.
frames are not working
It's
for
not
me.
nice. It's a very dangerous
I'll have to
term.
step away from the
So I
1
do
minute
talk
and
about
not
it,
trade
and I
it
talk
until
about
the end
it
of the
on
summer.
TikTok, and I talk about it
It's just been
everywhere. I talk
chewing me
about
up
it
too
here.
much.
And you're right; it has become international.
Yesterday I got good gains, but dang,
It's never
man.
worked, and it's not going to work.
Keep trading the 1 minute.
What
It's
is working
chewing
is
me
the United
alive,
States.
man.
Well,
I
think
traded the
of it, we have
15
more
minute a
jobs than
second
we've
ago. It
ever
didn't
had.
play out.
People
Like,
are
this has
making
been
more
vicious.
money than they've ever made. I'm talking about workers now. I'm talking about workers. They're making higher salaries than they've
Come
ever made
on,
before.
man.
It's just the best system, and it's got flaws. But
Now I see head and
everything's
shoulder.
gonna
Watch
have a
it
little
dump now.
flaw,
Like,
but it's been amazing. And
I will vote
when
in
I watch
campaign.
what's
I know.
happening,
Cash more crypto.
and I
God
see
bless
these
you.
lowlifes getting. I mean, they're lowlifes. I watch them. I know good people. I know quality people. These are essentially lowlifes. And when I see what they're talking, I think they're very
He
dangerous.
said it'll be the
in
greatest
many
guy.
ways, and I've said it. And then I said, "Boy, that's a pretty big statement." Then I realized, a couple of people said, "I think you're probably right." I think this country, with this thing that's going around, is in more danger than it was during World War I, World War II. If you talk about September 11th, if you talk about Pearl Harbor, that was big danger. I think the concept of us going communist, because one thing that happens when you go communist, you never come back, never comes back. You die in squalor. You die a horrible death. You die in squalor. And it gets very evil and very nasty. Yeah, please go ahead.
Mr. President, Tyler Pager with the New York Times. Last month you said Iranian leaders were very rational people, nice people to deal with, strong people, smart people. Today you said they were scum, sick people, and being led by sick people. What changed, and do you think
I got to know them. So I've said that about a lot. Now, when you say rational, I think they're much more rational than level 1, level 2. Level 1 is gone, level 2 is gone. This is level 3. I think they are more rational, but based on their actions over the last week or two,
we blew away every
not,
level.
They're
we
not
had.
doing a service to the people. And I think more than anything else is I got to know them.
Yeah, you'll be living in
I'm
the
not
shoebox
sure I
and
wanna
working
make
in
a deal
coal
with
mines
them.
by
We can play
100%.
games,
Indentured
but
slavery.
I'm not sure I want to make a deal.
You'll
I
never
just
be
finished
free.
the job. Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. Steve Sedgwick from CNBC. The oil markets are up today, around about 7% for WTI and Brent as well. The world is taking you at your word, sir, that the MOU is over, that the ceasefire is over.
Yeah.
What happens next, sir? Are we on the cusp of a
Good question.
full-scale return
No,
to full conflict?
I'll tell you what happens next. We're never going to see Iran have a nuclear weapon. because that's much more important than the numbers you're talking about. The prices of oil are dropping like a rock. Now they'll be up a little bit, and this will end very quickly. We have an oil glut right now because we got all those boats out of the strait, and it's going to drop, and I've predicted everything. I've been right about everything, and I have been for a long time. That's how I got to be president 3 times. That's how I won 3 elections. I did very well in the second
3
one, won it.
elections.
It was a rigged election.
3 elections.
But I've been right, and oil's coming down. Now, I have to make sure of one thing, that we don't have lunatics having control over nuclear weapons. So we have that now. There's no way they have a nuclear weapon.
Man, I can't look.
We have cameras, as an example, on the site that does beautiful B2s at 1 o'clock in the morning 10 months ago, blew up. They blew it up. We have cameras, that's called Space Force, if they're in space. But we have cameras that can read the badge of the person going over to a site. Mohammed something. We say it's Mohammed something is there with shovels. Well, shovels won't get you there. The biggest machinery in the world probably won't get you there if you want to know the truth. It's way, way below. But we're watching that.
They did
and
a
if
good job
anybody goes there,
tricking me,
they get
man.
blown up.
Like playing with
So
my
nobody's
mind
going to
here.
touch that. Eventually, we'll take it.
And the short will
But
play out.
what we
right?
do
And
have
it'll
is we have
dump.
that. That's gone.
By the time
If
I
we
get-
wouldn't have had that, they would have had a nuclear weapon,
I gotta-
and they would have wiped out Israel. If I weren't president, Israel wouldn't exist. And we did it 2
I gotta
times.
change something up.
When the
Something- I'm fighting
JCPOA, the
myself a lot
Obama
here.
deal, when that was originally conceived,
This is
everything
vicious.
went to Iran. 1.7 billion in cash, hundreds of billions of dollars. They thought they could buy peace with these people. You can't do that.
I keep trading the 21. I
So,
keep doing what I'm
the
supposed
big
to
thing
do.
we
I'm not
have
going to
is
change
more
my
important
style
than
based on
anything
the
we can
pain,
talk
but
about
it's
is
just
you can't
vicious,
let
man. I'm
lunatics
used to
have
winning all the
nuclear
time.
weapons, and we've
Just get
stopped that. And that should have been stopped on a couple of other occasions too with different countries, but they didn't do that. Yeah, please.
Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I'd like you to address speculation that you're leaving Ankara not in the new Air Force One because of security concerns involving Iran. You've spoken today twice about them possibly assassinating you and possibly being successful. Did that concern have something to do
Well,
with
I
you?
speak about it a lot because, you know, the life of a president is very dangerous. It's 5.2%. You know what a race car driver is? 1/10 of 1%. A bull rider, that looks pretty dangerous to me. It's 1/10 of 1%. No, it's 5.2% is you don't make it. You should have told me you're an excellent reporter. You should have told me that years ago. Maybe I wouldn't have run. It's a very dangerous profession. No, I'm number 1 on the kill list for Iran. They're lovely people. I'm number 1. So I don't know. I can't tell you that, but I don't really care because I'm doing my job and I'm doing it, I hope, better than anybody's ever
Like,
done
this
it.
has made the
because
market
we have a
pump.
country
Like,
that's
is this going to be
hot
on the right shoulder?
and really, really
See
successful.
how this could be a
But
right shoulder here?
I mention it only because it's on the list. I mean, it came out. There was another list came out yesterday, and
I will win this
number one
trade.
on-
I will win
I
this
like being
trade. I will
number
win
one on
this
TikTok
trade.
better, but I'm number 1 on the list for.
Look at this thing sending
for
out of
killing.
nowhere. Look at this, just sending. I'm up 160 in 2 seconds. I was just down
Go ahead.
$300. Like,
Hey, Sean McCreesh, New York Times. But why aren't you flying the new plane home?
Say what?
Why aren't you flying on the new Air Force One home?
It's flying to Europe to one of the big bases, 2 or 3 of the big bases, where we can show it to the people, and we'll be going home by normal methods. But we have it.
none of your
going
business,
to
honestly.
Europe to a couple of bases, actually 1 in particular, but it's going to go to a couple of bases, stop, so the soldiers can see it because it's truly magnificent. Yeah, please. Go ahead. You want to go? Okay, go ahead.
Nonchalant
President,
answer.
harici media
Doesn't
which
make
are
any
put
sense.
Türkiye. Mr. President,
Soldiers
it
need to see
seems
the plane. Like,
that the war with Iran may start again. What do you expect from your European
No, I
allies?
don't think it's going to start again. I think it's going to go very quickly. They hit a couple of ships, and so we hit them much harder. When they hit, we hit 10 times harder. You know, we hit much harder than they do. We have a lot better equipment than they do.
this guy's
We may even, somebody
I
else
love
before,
him.
do you
How
think you'll
could you
hit
not
him
love
tonight? I
this
said,
guy's
we might, yeah,
hilarious,
we
man.
might.
He's the best.
But when
like-
they hit, we hit. You know, it's what they're. We use their language. We speak their language. No, I don't think so. I think anything that happens is going to be over very quickly, and we'll only and we'll only make it safer, including for oil.
You're not entertained,
Oil
man.
is
The
going to
guy's
be
entertaining, bro.
very
Come on.
free, very
You're not
easy,
entertained by Donald Trump.
and
Like,
it's going to happen
come on, man.
very fast. We have the Hormuz Strait. The boats have pulled out. I mean, there's a gusher of oil right now. We have a lot of oil. And no, anything that happens is going to happen very fast. We're not looking for long term. Okay, go ahead, Red.
Mr. President, you said today, Ines de la Cuetara with MS Now, you said today that countries...
You're with who?
MS Now.
MS Now. That's a failing network. Why would you want to work for them? MS Now, can you imagine? They wanted to get away with picking them NBC because they were embarrassed by it. Go ahead, let's go.
my God.
When you hear this question,
You said today that countries like Spain, Italy, and the UK were not there for the U.S. and its war with Iran. Should those countries be attacked, will the U.S. be there for them?
well, I'll tell you what. Number one, Spain has been very bad, but you know Italy's been good.
Stir up the
and
pot, right?
Almost all of the countries have been good. They just had a bad moment. They didn't help us.
That was amazing.
We didn't need the help. But if we would have wanted the help, I said, by the way, if I want help, Sir would rather remain
What a
on the
legend, right?
sidelines. And I didn't like that answer.
Yeah,
UK gave an answer that was sort of weirder than that.
Dude, we may win
They
this
went
one.
out.
We're up $300 finally.
I said, would you like to help? They said, we
Send
do,
it,
but we want to
baby.
wait till the
Send
war is
it.
over. This was not in the spirit of Winston Churchill. So, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I can only say if there's one word that comes out of today, it's unification. I've never seen anything like it. Every one of those countries, they love us, they love each other. That was tremendous unification. It was a nice thing to say, and it was a very fair question, too. Yeah. Green?
Hey, called it what it was.
You're wearing green, right?
Thank you, Mr. President. Eda Turul from Haber Global TV,
What?
Turkey.
Okay.
Mr. President, after your meeting with President Erdogan, can you tell us whether you and President Erdogan reach an understanding on Turkey's return to the F-35 program and the future of U.S.-Turkey defense cooperation? And do you believe U.S.-Turkey relations are entering a new chapter right now?
Well, I had a great relationship in my first term. You remember Pastor Brunson, and he was put in jail for 35 years, and I called. He was an evangelical hero, actually, very good man. And I called President Erdogan, and he let him out. I didn't pay anything like Obama and Biden pay billions of dollars all the time. I never paid any for anybody. I just tell him, let him out. Let him out. But in this case, I didn't say it the second way. I said it the first way. I said, look, he's a good man. He's highly respected in the evangelical, and I'd like you to let him out. And he was in my office, in the Oval Office the following day, Pastor Brunson. I had a great relationship. When Sleepy Joe Biden got in, bad things happened with a lot of things between the border. Everything was bad. We were laughed at all over the world, and we had a very bad relationship with a lot of countries. I think Turkey was one of those countries. But that changed on November 5th when we had the election. And it's one of our best relationships. We have a great relationship. And they're talking about the F-35 airplane, and it's the best plane, and everybody wants it. And we have to make a decision who we give it to. I mean, my inclination, because he stayed out of, he's not a huge fan of Bibi, and he's not a huge fan of Israel, but he stayed out of that war. He could have gone into that war very easily, and he didn't. At my request, he stayed out of that war. He's been a very good ally. I mean, Marco could tell you we have a very strong relationship with Turkey. You know, it's a very big country. It's a very powerful militarily. It's the second most powerful country in NATO. It's a NATO country. So whether or not we do that, I haven't totally made up my mind. But my inclination is to say, look, he's done everything. He's helped us in so many different ways. And you know who else has been good to us? China. China never came into the war. They get 50% of their oil from Hormuz Strait. They never came into the war. They never said, I'm going to send a ship in 5 destroyers along each side of the ship. They never did. No, President Xi's been great. Everyone's been sort of great, to be honest. You know why? Because they respect our country again. They laughed at our country. They thought we were a bunch of fools. They saw a president that couldn't talk, he couldn't walk. He was a disaster. They lost respect for our country, but now they have more respect for our country than they've ever had before. Thank you all very much. We'll see you back. Thank you very much.
He's like, damn, I'm talking too much again. Like, yo, bro, stop talking, man. You said it was going to be brief. That was long. Anyway, shout out to everybody here. Up 197 in the scalp. See if we could catch this one to the upside. Look like we're going to fail. Came back up strong. I stayed strong mentally. Can we continue? Good things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen, baby. Going to show a big win to the group. We're going to keep it pushing. And those big weekly and monthly trades could play out, man. So I love you all. God bless you. A long one today. Never know what's going to happen. I didn't expect it, but he came on later than we thought, and I figured it was part of the trade, part of the motion. We'd sit there and kind of go through it together. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for sending a super chat or sending love my way. Whatever you did, commenting, just being a part. If you stayed the whole time, you're awesome. All right, if you came in and came out, all good either way. Super blessed to have you. God bless everybody here on the stream. And with that being said, I'll play one of my favorite tracks as we end the stream. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. Exactly. Bitcoin looking like it's about to pump. I like it. The 1 hour recovered. So far, so good here on the 1 minute time frame. I'll see you guys in the next few hours inside the trading. Go to CryptoLifer.com to find out more. Hit the pinned comment if you want to sign up to Weeks and Trade What We Trade. It's all here for you every single day. God bless you all. Thank you so much for jumping on in. I will see you all tomorrow for another awesome, amazing, and fun-filled live stream. God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Remember, the secret to success. I'm going to tell you what the secret to success is. Listen, huddle on in here because no one else is going to tell you the secret. If you want to become successful, I got it. I got it. The secret to success is getting started.
Let's get to